And our very first guest in the history of Wilde Tausch, which will be, I'm sure, a long and distinguished history.
Packers Hall of Famer Mike Tauscher.
Aaron Rodgers, give us an over-under on what number would you set for how many shows we do together?
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio at ESPN Madison.
I'm going to say daily 52 weeks in a year. I'm going to say you do about 230.
And celebrating 10 great years on ESPN Wisconsin.
And then what happens?
No, then Tausch kind of bows out.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
The Thursday edition. Jason Wilde's summer sabbatical continues. And a major announcement edition starring one Mike Tauscher this morning on Milwaukee's new old home of the Wisconsin Badgers. 620 WTMJ and 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Jesse Nelson, normally the producer of this show. Today I slide into the host chair. Third day in a row, we are joined by Daytime Ryan Wollersheim as our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs we believe in better. From his undisclosed location, appropriately donning his red Wisconsin Badgers baseball cap. He is the color analyst of the Wisconsin Badgers Football Radio Network, Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer, and the keeper of a major announcement made this morning on Wisconsin's Morning News, 620 WTMJ. He is Mike Tauscher. Tausch, good morning.
Yes.
Big day. How you doing?
It's not only a good morning, it's a great morning, as about an hour ago we just made the announcement on Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ that the Badgers radio for the football team, men's basketball. We already have volleyball. There's going to be a lot of other things. Obviously, women's basketball is going to be on down there. But for me, I'm obviously incredibly excited that the Badger broadcast with Matt LePay and myself and Dave and the whole team will be back on WTMJ this fall, starting right out of the chute up at Lambeau. And I know I'm super excited about it. Obviously, been a part of Good Karma for a long time now and WTMJ for a while, and it's just a perfect fit. We're super excited that people are going to be able to find us. I know the last few years it's been an interesting where are we at? How do you get this? Well, now if you're in the Milwaukee area, and obviously WTMJ has a big old stick that carries a lot throughout the state of Wisconsin. We're back, baby, and we're excited about it. Can't wait to get started in about a month and some change.
I tested it this morning. You can catch 620 WTMJ while you're driving down East Washington Avenue if you're coming in from Sun Prairie toward downtown Madison. So that signal reaches everywhere, and it's going to be great for fans traveling around the state on a Saturday morning or afternoon or evening to be able to find Wisconsin Badgers football not only on 620 WTMJ, but also on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Simulcast of Wisconsin football all season long on both stations. And in addition, you've heard from Tausch already, men's basketball, volleyball continues on 620 WTMJ, select broadcasts on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Regular season women's basketball, women's hockey, and men's hockey airing in Milwaukee on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Select games, including postseason games, will also air on radio stations to be announced later, either 94.5 ESPN or 620 WTMJ. We know, both hockey teams were in the championships last year. The women won it. The women's basketball team appears to be on the up and up. We heard from Coach Robin Pinchton in an event we were at a month or two ago. That seems like it's got a lot of momentum going forward. And then, of course, we know the excitement, the anticipation, the hype around football with the new athletic director and what's in store this year with that Notre Dame game on Labor Day weekend weekend, Sunday night, September 6th, when this whole thing gets started at Lambeau Field. And men's basketball continuing to be one of the top contenders in the Big Ten and in the country. You get to hear all of it on 620 WTMJ, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, the WTMJ mobile app, and on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Easy for fans to find it. Excited to be the new home of Wisconsin Badgers athletics in Milwaukee. This is going to be so exciting heading into this season. And it all starts, Tausch, on September 6th. Labor Day weekend, Wisconsin and Notre Dame at Lambeau Field. I heard Vinny and the boys asking you about it this morning. Are you getting excited for that one, the opener?
No, Jesse, I'm not. Of course you're excited. It's I think, obviously, with this announcement that we're going to be the radio home down in Milwaukee, there's always this, you kind of look back at history, and I didn't realize this until Vince brought it up. It's been 22 years since the Badgers have been back down on WTMJ. So that part of it, obviously for me selfishly, I'm super excited. But as just far as this season goes, last year obviously didn't go the way a lot of us hoped it would. And I think what's interesting now is there's more of a measured tone of confidence. This is going to be a huge test, and to be able to do it up at Lambeau against one of the iconic programs in the whole college football landscape, I'm not going to make any bold predictions yet. It's not that time of the year for me yet, but I just feel like with the way Las Vegas has looked at this game, the fact that Wisconsin has totally retooled itself on offense, I think it's going to be a heck of a lot more intriguing than maybe some national folks do. And I know this. There's going to be a nice buzz, and I think with Sean Eichhorst coming in, and you can see how he's approached things, there just kind of seems like there's a renewed enthusiasm about Wisconsin athletics, and obviously the football team is going to be leading the charge in that, and hopefully we get this era reset and kind of some new results that come along with it, and it'll all be happening on WTMJ in Milwaukee.
That's the big announcement today from our friends, of course, at 620 WTMJ and on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. The ESPN Wisconsin app, 620 WTMJ mobile app, that is where you'll find Wisconsin Badgers athletics in Milwaukee this season and hopefully for a long time moving forward. Looking forward to that. Big announcement this morning for us at Good Karma, and a big announcement for us on Wilde Tausch here as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you and I have been doing these shows this week with Jason on his summer sabbatical. He'll be back on Monday, just in time for you to start your summer sabbatical. And I could feel like you're getting a little sick of me, and I think our fans are probably getting a little sick of me being in the host chair here. So,
can I also
Ryan.
just want to make sure I
appreciate
correct the record, because Jesse, you're supposed to be my record corrector. That's part of your job as producer, but you're hosting today, and I'm not going to put this on Wooly. I think it's been 12 years since we were on WTMJ. 12, not 20. So Vinny, I'm not going to besmirch Vinny. I think it's only been 12 years. Feels like 22, but it's been 12.
It does feel like it's been 22. It's been a long time. I remember when I was a kid driving around on a Saturday afternoon with my dad, and we would be able to listen to the games on 620, and then suddenly one day it was gone. And we're like, where is it? And we had to struggle trying to find it, and it's nice to have it back home on 620 WTMJ here starting this fall. All right, our announcement. So you're sick of me being in the host chair here. Tomorrow, for the very...
just for the record, Jesse, I haven't said I'm sick of you. You're implying that. YouTubers might be, and maybe some of our fans. I am not sick of you. You've done a nice job.
Ryan keeps hitting that ding button, so I'm starting to think he's a little sick of me being here.
Trying to speak for the fans, as Tausch is saying.
Appreciate that, Wooly. Tomorrow, we have a special guest cousin sub of the day hosting all 3 hours of Wilde and Tausch for the first time. And in conjunction with our brand new partnership with the Wisconsin Badgers and its new home, 620 WTMJ and 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, Matt LePay is in as our cousin sub of the day tomorrow. The Badgers Radio Network booth for football games takes over all 3 hours of Wilde and Tausch tomorrow. Can't wait to have Dad in here hosting the show. Little father, son. It's like the Golics coming back to ESPN Radio in a couple of weeks. We're going to have me and my fake dad going to be in here running the show tomorrow. Tausch, can't wait.
Are you hosting? Are you hosting with him? Are we doing a 3-man booth, or what are we doing tomorrow?
I mean, I've been clamoring for a 3-man booth with me, you, and LePay for a long time. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Big audition for Jesse.
That's going to be a big day for me. I better rest up. Well, I don't want a repeat of what happened with Homer last week, where there was a battle for power, or really a reluctance of power, of who was going to be driving the ship hosting the show. If you would like me to handle ins and outs for you guys tomorrow, like first take style, like I'll be Shea Cornette leading us in, and then you guys can debate and ensue another discussion, and I'll just kind of keep us on the rails.
Let's make sure we don't send that to Shea. I don't think Shea would love you, appreciate you comparing yourself to her. Just for the record.
Who in this world would appreciate me comparing myself to them?
I think a lot of people.
The list is... I think the list is pretty short based on the feedback I receive on a regular basis. Regardless of what my role will be tomorrow, Matt LePay, cousin sub of the day, all 3 hours tomorrow, 9 to noon on Wilde Tausch for the very first time. He's been on the show many times, but this will be the first time that he is a full-on cousin sub of the day, hosting the show with Tausch. Can't wait to do it tomorrow. The Badgers Radio Network booth takeover of Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon tomorrow morning here on ESPN Wisconsin. Huge day, huge week for us here at Good Karma and at ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ. We'll get back to talking some Green Bay Packers. There's some front office conversation we're going to get into, and how timely. Mike Tannenbaum, ESPN NFL front office insider, scheduled to appear coming up around 10 o'clock this morning. Homer at 10:35, the Wilde and Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions coming up in the 11 o'clock hour. Huge showdown, Mike the Wedding DJ and Chef Ed. Somebody will move on to the quarterfinals. Can't wait for that. All that still to come on today's edition, but before anything, Tausch, tell us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Indeed, shopping for new windows and doors should never include haggling. Pella sticks to straightforward pricing, honest conversations, helping homeowners find the right fit for their home, and they never have to use high-pressure sales tactics. When you buy direct through Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the same team that manufactures your windows and doors, they also sell them, install them, and service them. Real pricing, premium quality, no game. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Talking about a potential drastic change for the Green Bay Packers. This seems preposterous, but it piqued Tausch's interest yesterday on Wisconsin's Morning News. Man, a lot happened on Wisconsin's Morning News this week. We will talk about it coming up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. I've been telling you for a while now how much I've loved Pizza Hut going back to the days when I was a kid participating in their legendary Book It program. Well, how's this for a throwback? Introducing Pizza Hut's Throwback Value Menu. Features their iconic personal pan pizza, just $3. And a medium one-topping original stuffed crust pizza for just $10. You asked for it, so they delivered. It's the Throwback Value Menu from Pizza Hut. Order on the Pizza Hut app or at pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Creating lasting impressions every season, every day. That's the Olson Toon Landscaping difference. Since 1997, Olson Toon has been transforming outdoor spaces across Dane County. From landscaping and concrete to excavation and maintenance, they're your one team for everything outdoors, keeping your property looking its best year-round. With experienced professionals and a collaborative approach, every project is built around your vision. Ready to elevate your space? Let's get started. Head to olsontoon.com today.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973. They're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether you're looking for a sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and check out their full lineup of vehicles and find the one that's right for you, or browse their vehicle selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda.
Since 1956, Hallman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Hallman Lindsay has grown over the years to 27 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Hallman Lindsay has the paints you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Hallman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Vortex Golf makes rangefinders for serious golfers who need an accurate number every time. With 3 options, the Blade, Blade Slope, and Anarch, there's a Vortex rangefinder that fits your game. Crystal clear optics and features like image stabilization keep you steady in big moments. Plus, every Vortex Golf product is backed by a no-questions-asked lifetime warranty. If you're looking for an accurate number every time, Vortex Golf belongs on your bag. Grab yours and everything you need for golf season in Wisconsin at Shields.com.
Get ready for the ultimate Saturday night at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Join us for the all-new Queen of Hearts drawing at 4, 6, 8, and 10 p.m. This is your chance for royal glory. When your name is drawn, choose the right card and you could win a life-changing jackpot, up to $150,000. The longer the Queen stays hidden, the bigger the jackpot grows. Let's Hard Rock with the Queen of Hearts only at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Hey, it's John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
The Miz is bringing the heat.
Struck him out swinging. 104 on that fastball from Miz. Back-to-back Ks opens up his outing.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Brewers.
Jesse and Tausch today on Wilde Tausch, including on Milwaukee's new home of Wisconsin Badgers football, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. That's not going to get old for a while. That's pretty great to be able to say that coming in here. So, Tausch, you broke that news on Wisconsin's Morning News on 620 WTMJ, where you can also listen to every Badgers football game this season. And then yesterday morning when you appeared on the show, you came into this Everlight Solar studio at ESPN Madison. You said, what's this Mike Florio thing? Have you seen this? I said, no, I haven't. So you sent it over. It's like 9.5 minutes from Pro Football Talk. Mike Florio kind of going on a bit of a tangent. I'll summarize it best I can, because if you're trying to cut like the audio, you'd have to go like 4.5 minutes long listening to what he's saying, elaborating on everything. So Mike Florio points out how the Green Bay Packers are the only publicly owned team in the National Football League. We all know that. The revenue that all the other 31 teams can generate by selling minority shares of their team, unlike what the Packers can do, has been able to allow them to potentially get a theoretical competitive advantage by having more money available that they can allocate to various different resources. The Packers, Mike Florio asserts, when Ed Policy reaches his mandatory retirement age, whenever that may be, I don't know exactly how old he is, he says the Packers could be in the interest of both the team and the National Football League to get rid of their publicly owned nature and sell it off like the Seahawks kind of just did into a private manner, so that the NFL can then hide its records, so the Packers don't have to make that public for all of their investors, their shareholders, and then also the Packers can get more money to pick up on what that perceived competitive advantage is for all other 31 teams by having more money holstered to be able to spend on stadium upgrades and Titletown and events and all the stuff that would go into that. So that's, in summary, 9.5 minutes of what Mike Florio said at Pro Football Talk. When you heard this yesterday and you talked about it on Wisconsin's Morning News, what was so compelling and interesting to you?
Well, I think there's always kind of the worry from Packer fans that the team could leave. And it's not imminent. There was the naming rights and all of the other stuff, and we just keep seeing new stadiums being built and a lot of cash infusion being put in by wealthy owners and by the states and or cities, municipalities that are doing it. And it's just a constant, I got to keep up with the Joneses, literally and figuratively. And Florio, listen, Florio does some good stuff. I've had a lot of commentary on some of his commentary. I think he's intriguing. He does not like the Green Bay Packers. He's a Vikings fan. So always look at everything he does with a grain of salt. It's a slow time of the year, but his point, and this is where I found it interesting, because ed policy is brought up, and obviously concern level of these other teams being able to sell 10% of the franchise value. If it's $10 billion. What's 10% of $10 billion, Jesse?
Is that 1 million? 10 million?
No.
What is it? I don't know.
Let's just say you're trying to raising $1 billion. Or you're trying to raise $100 million to upgrade your stadium or to get more cash. So if you have a cash flow issue, which you're not, these other teams are able to do it. The Packers, for a long time, have been able to do the stock sale every 7 or 8 years, and other teams didn't like that. Now, their stock sale is a heck of a lot different because if you're selling a private equity piece, you have to pay dividends. There's a ROI expectation where Packer fans are, this is my duty, this is what I'm doing, I want to be a part of it. That has been a nice, kind of a kitschy story for all of us. I don't know all of the legalities of going from a nonprofit or a organizational that is owned by the team to all of a sudden being able to sell. Florio's point was that there is some kind of an out that the Packers could utilize within their foundation to change the structure of how these things go. And if 31 other teams are utilizing it and doing it, the Packers have to look into it. And I'm looking at it and saying, well, right now Green Bay is sitting fine financially. We'll hear their report, I think, Monday, how they're doing. I don't know why Florio is putting it out, but there's always something. And there's always some way, shape, or form that this kind of manipulates. And I don't know if he talked to someone or if he just is wanting to stir the pot. Either way, it's always something to look at from a financial standpoint because the revenues are growing so fast and other teams are having ways to grab more revenue than the Packers will. That's why it's so important for them to do the Titletown and to do all of the other things. And it's just another stark reminder of you have to continue to stay in front of what's going on, or these scenarios that Florio puts out, there might be some viability to it.
844-770-3776 is the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. Less is more. Ed policy is 55 years old. The Packers' mandatory retirement age is 70, right, for the president? That's what Murphy had to step away and call it for his tenure, was 70 years old. I'm pretty sure that's right. So we're looking at like 15 years before Ed policy would be done, and then this, according to Mike Florio, could even go into effect. By the way, thank you to everyone who pointed out 10% of $10 billion is $1 billion. In retrospect, that was pretty easy math that I should have been able to do, so I'm an idiot. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's never going to happen, right? Like, this is speculation, and we're looking at, like, okay, this would benefit the league. This theoretically could benefit the Packers, but the entire appeal of the Green Bay Packers franchise is that it's it's owned by the fans. They're the smallest town in America that has a professional sports team, and it's worked for this long because of this set. Like, they're never going to deviate from what this setup is, right?
I would say you never should ever say never to anything when it comes to money and finances. People are always looking for ways. I would say at this point there is no way, but that doesn't mean in 20 years there's not going to be reevaluating how things go, and we don't know how the financials of the NFL are going to continue to go. There's a lot of issues, and I think when we had Aaron Popke join us, I don't know, that month and a half ago, discussing broadcasting and all of the others, there is a lot of things that the NFL always needs to keep top of mind. And I think the revenue of the media deals always is at the top of their list. The other stuff is usually secondary. But the health of their franchises and the sales, you just saw Seattle sold their franchise for $9 billion. The Green Bay Packers story is special. It is a huge part of the NFL, and I do believe that there will never be another story like it. And I think it's great for the league, and it's great for the league when the Packers are really good. And the only way to stay really good is to make sure you're keeping up and making sure financially you can compete. The Packers have done a great job of that, and that Mark Murphy, Bob Harlan, everybody deserves a ton of credit for that. But the fans deserve a ton of credit as well, because most fans aren't willing to invest in something where they know there is no ROI other than feels and vibes. And that's where the Packers are. And that's a great, powerful thing. But as far as what Florio is saying, he's stirring the pot to make it look as if the NFL may want the Packers to go in a different route because they can protect the financials. What we've seen in the past is that the Packers make big expenditures at the end of CBAs. Well, this CBA is running out in 3 or 4 years. I don't know what that next big expenditure is going to be, if it's building a new Hudson Center. There's a lot of things that they could do. But right now, everything is copacetic. But that doesn't mean it will be in 5 to 10 years. And that's, I think, it didn't get a bunch of traction because I think most people are looking at it like you. Well, that can't happen. That is never going to happen. And I agree. It's not going to happen anytime soon. But you always better stay on your toes when you're talking about finances and the way the NFL approaches it.
ESPN NFL front office insider Mike Tannenbaum scheduled to appear coming up at 9:45 this morning here on Wilde Tausch. We'll ask him about this and a lot more Packers roster building questions. That's coming up. Last thing on this, Tausch, what would this mean, hypothetical world for a moment? They do this. Florio's right, and this is how it plays out. Ed Policy in 2040, he hangs it up as Packers president. They say, you know what, we're going to go to be a privately owned team after all. That's the end of this run. What would that mean for fans who are either shareholders right now or just who want to see the team succeed and cheer them on with their blood, sweat, and tears? Like, what would that mean for Packers fans everywhere if this change were to happen?
Yeah, I don't necessarily even know. I don't know all of the ins and outs of that. I know it would change, and it would be a different vibe than what we have now. And I think right now, obviously, there's a board and there's people that make these big decisions. Every other team does it the other way, where they have one person making all of the decisions. Ed Policy obviously is critical to that, but Ed Policy answers to others. Owners don't. Owners answer to themselves, and if you get the wrong cat, things go south quickly. We've seen that in every sport professionally. It's not something that I think we need to spend a ton of time on, and I know we're not going to, but it's just always – I think there's always the little insecurities of Wisconsin sports fans. When they get brought up, you want to make sure you are aware and understand so that it doesn't end up happening.
Again, ESPN NFL front office insider Mike Tannenbaum scheduled to appear coming up at 9:45. I want to get into these under 25 power rankings that ESPN.com had, because where the Packers were on this list was quite surprising. You may have heard some of our other shows talking about it yesterday. We'll get into that coming up next. But first, Tausch, it's a big day for the Badgers. It's a big day also then for UW Credit Union.
Indeed, and UW Credit Union, you know, they're headquartered in Madison, but there's branches all throughout Milwaukee. Obviously, WTMJ is now the new home for Milwaukee for Wisconsin football. It's been for volleyball. We're all excited about that. And for every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here forever. You're proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach your financial goals. And you know what? I love we're keeping up. We have a great app. UW Credit Union's mobile app offers a simple way to check accounts, make transfers, and more. That is a smart play from the pocket. Join today at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
Normally, the Green Bay Packers rank at least in the middle in power rankings when comparing them to the other teams in the league. They were not ranked in the middle in this one. You will find out. The under 25 power rankings, if you haven't seen this yet, it is surprising where the Packers check in these rankings at ESPN.com. We'll talk about it coming up next. It's Jesse and Tausch on Wilde Tausch.
Will Tucker Kraft be the NFL's highest paid tight end?
There's some guys you just have to bite the bullet and pay them. Micah Parsons is one of them. Jordan Love's another one. Tucker Kraft's one of those guys.
Your home for green and gold coverage. 100.5 ESPN.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
It's a great day for Brewers baseball, and with Brewers checking from Associated Bank, you get a powerful lineup of perks all season. Leading off is Express Entry with incredible speed. Next up, 20% off gear at the Brewers team store. Sporty stuff. And third, up to 50% off home game tickets. But if you can believe it, there's even more you can score. Because with Brewers checking, you get the strongest lineup in baseball. Only from Associated Bank. Join the crew at AssociatedBank.com/Brewers. Member FDIC.
Life moves fast. Your car should move with it. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, they've got a vehicle and payment options that fit every stage of your journey. Just graduated? Start smart in a Chevy Trax. Stylish, efficient, and budget-friendly. Growing your family? The Equinox gives you the space and versatility you need. And when life gets even bigger, the Traverse or Tahoe is ready for it all. Kids, carpools, and road trips. Visit them today in Sun Prairie or online at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Zimbrick Chevrolet, the name you can trust.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
What life events have you experienced over the past couple of years? Well, maybe one is coming up. The sale of a company, death, divorce, a health crisis, or helping to pay for college or a wedding. Well, Annex Wealth Management has assisted clients with life events, but planning for them can make all the difference. Knowing what you own, why you own it, and how much you're paying for it is a big part of smart financial planning. Annex has an entire in-house team that works together so you can make informed decisions when life events come up. Click Get Started at AnnexWealth.com.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
The sound of summer is on ESPN Madison.
Swing and a miss! He struck him out!
Madison's home of the Brewers.
Track! Wall! Bye! Baseball!
Catch every Milwaukee Brewers game this season on 100.5 ESPN.
Hit well, back, it is gone!
Brewers baseball on ESPN Madison is presented by Hard Rock Casino Rockford and brought to you by North and South Seafood and Smokehouse.
Brewers fans, this season Window Nation is bringing the excitement home. With the Tickets with Window Purchase promotion, you could score tickets to see the Milwaukee Brewers when you upgrade your windows with Window Nation. Enjoy better comfort, improved energy efficiency, and unforgettable game day moments. As a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers, Window Nation is committed to quality products and expert service you can count on. Book your free consultation today and turn your next home upgrade into a win for the whole family. Visit windownation.com to schedule a quote.
We're on the Packers.
You can't sit here and tell me that you're comfortable with the idea of the Green Bay Packers playing 8 games without Mike Parsons.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
That's very uncomfortable. That's extremely uncomfortable.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN. Wilde Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
So we got this article from Aaron Schatz, ESPN.com.
Shatsy!
He's our guy. He likes diving into the analytics and providing these rankings, but really it's more of just a kind of a statement on where some of these teams rank relative to one another using advanced metrics over at ESPN.com. So the latest ranking, the under 25 rankings, NFL rosters based on the talent on each team under age 25. I saw this article yesterday morning, and I clicked on it because I'm like, okay, well, the Packers got to be near the top of this list. Like, I was wondering if they might be number one. We know they've been one of the youngest teams in the league each of the last couple of seasons. They've draft and develop is always the mantra, so they've got to be near the top of these rankings. So I click on it, and I start scrolling down. It says, okay, New England Patriots are number one. Well, good for them. They were in the Super Bowl last year. They're young. They kind of looked like they didn't belong there when they got there, but that means they've got a big window of success still available for them. Number two, the Houston Texans. That makes sense. The Bears were number 3. And I thought, oh, they got the Bears ranked ahead of the Packers. And then I kept scrolling. And I kept scrolling. And here comes the Vikings. And here come the Lions. And there's the Seahawks. No sign of the Packers. Scrolling. Get to number 16, the Kansas City Chiefs, which I was shocked. But I'm like, okay, we're still not to the Packers. Scrolling. All the way down here at number 30 out of 32 teams in the under 25 talent power rankings at ESPN.com, there lies the Green Bay Packers. Number 30, only the Broncos and the LA Rams, unsurprisingly, because they don't have any young players on their team. Blank them picks. Those are the two teams that are underneath the Green Bay Packers. By the way, the Rams and the Broncos, both teams that lost in the NFC Championship game last year, for what that's worth. I was shocked by this, but the more I thought about what it actually means, Tausch, I think it's a good thing that the Packers are this low on this ranking. What did you make of seeing the Packers at number 30 out of 32 in the under 25 talent rankings at ESPN.com?
So the first question I have is, who all is under 25?
Well,
who are Matthew Golden? Yep, obviously is under 25. All right, give me a list of our top kids under 25.
Aaron Schatz outlined. So wide receiver Matthew Golden is the only notable player on offense who is under 25. Everybody else is 25 plus. That includes Jordan Morgan, Anthony Belton. Okay, so defensively qualifying for this, Edrin Cooper, Carrington Valentine, Javon Bullard. And then depending on what you expect from Brandon Cisse, the draft pick this year, he's 21. So those are your 4 notable defensive players under 25 on the Packers roster. Guys who graduated, according to Aaron Schatz, that became 25 years old this year. Tucker Kraft, Lucas Van Ness, and Evan Williams. So those are 3 notable players that we expect at least decent things, if not major things, from this season for the Packers. But then you look at the other core players, they're all around 25, maybe a year older than that. But a lot of these guys that have been in these rankings, which the Packers, they were 23rd on this list last year. They were higher than that the year before. They're down to 30 because, like you talked about earlier this week, that means they're developing these guys. They're getting older on this roster, and it's essentially the same group of guys that's continuing to come back now a couple of years in a row, developing together in pursuit of being a Super Bowl contender.
And I think you see with how Green Bay has approached it and signing some of their guys. They obviously some draft picks from the Jordan Love class, and after it hasn't worked. But now you're starting to see guys get second deals, and that's typically where you need to live in your championship window. You can have young players come, chip in and be, big pieces, but your core players and your best players and your highest paid players are going to be the guys that will determine whether or not you win a championship or not. So you could look back at our 2010 team. Yeah, Brian Bulaga stepped in. Desmond Bishop stepped in. There were some young players, but the reason that team won a championship was Aaron Rodgers, Greg Jennings, Jordy Nelson, Charles Woodson. You can start looking at what was the common denominator. It's you have your best players playing their best football at the best time, at the most important time. That's what we've been lacking. And we've been young, then we've been where we've been too old, and it's the old porridge story. You got to get it right. It's got to be in the middle. And right now, yes, this list, when you first read it, you could say, boy, Goody's done a terrible job. Or da-da-da. You don't want to always be relying on first and second year players to play critical roles. You want them to play, and you want them to be good, and you want them to grow, and you want them to be really good players by the time, and make it no doubters that, hey, if we want to, we will sign these guys. And there have been a list of guys now that they want to sign, and Tucker Kraft will be the next guy. And all of those guys, for the most part, are in that 25 to 28 years old. That's your sweet spot. Those are the elevator years for most players. And when you can have a majority of your guys in that era, you're going to have multiple bites at championship apples. That's where I think Green Bay's at. And you can look at it from 100 different perspectives, but I want guys year 4 to year 8. That's when they're going to be at their best if they can stay healthy. What year is Jordan Love? What year is Micah Parsons? What year is Tucker Kraft? What year is Christian Watson? What year is McKinney? Evan Williams is going to be 12 or 25. That's where you want to be. That's what you're hoping for. So, yeah, it's great to have young talent, but that typically means you're rebuilding or you missed. You've missed on a bunch of really good players. So I look at this in the opposite way I think maybe a lot of people do and say this isn't bad. This means we're finally getting that core of real. Now, would it be great if we had a couple of 6th and 7th round picks that were going into year 2 and they're like, oh my God, these guys are so talented, we got to put them out? Yeah, that'd be fine. But for the guys that you are really counting on, this is the age group that you're really looking for. And it fleets. I mean, it goes quick. So you better have some guys on the other side of this. And that's where I guess if you wanted to be concerned about this list, that's where you'd be.
Tausch going to tell us about Steinhoffels in a moment. Mike Tannenbaum, ESPN NFL front office insider, scheduled to appear coming up next. We'll ask him about the Florio thing. We'll ask him about these rankings and just the general Packers approach to roster building. Are they legitimate Super Bowl contenders? He's a former GM in the league. He'll be able to tell us all about that. Mike Tannenbaum scheduled to appear coming up next. But first, Tausch, tell us about Steinhoffels.
If you've been thinking about upgrading your mattress, now is the time to do it at Steinhoffels. Right now, get a free foundation with any qualifying Beauty Rest mattress purchase. Queen Beauty Rests, they start at $14.99. Or you can treat yourself to the ultimate sleep experience with a Beauty Rest Black King adjustable base set. You can save $500 instantly. Plus, with 60-month financing, better sleep is more affordable than ever. Don't overpay for a great night's sleep. Shop your nearest Steinhoffels showroom or online at steinhoffels.com and relax. It's Steinhoffels.
Mike Tannenbaum joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Is this the year the Brewers make a push at the trade deadline?
You open a window so you can climb through it. You don't open a window so you can sit on the ledge and wonder what's going to happen if you jump.
Madison's home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. Former Badgers linebacker Chris Orr joined the jump around and has a fascinating connection with current UW star Mason Posa.
I recruited Mason Posa when I was at Baylor. He was choosing between Baylor and Wisconsin. You know, I'm like, look, bro, I got nothing bad to say about Wisconsin. I'm like, I can't tell you. I'm like, I don't know those guys like that. I'm like, I don't know the staff like that. I'm like, but the place, like, I love the place. Yeah, it's crazy how football connects the world in that regard. But I was happy to see what he did.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't play games. Just straightforward pricing, premium quality, and trusted Pella certified installation. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Mike, what's one of the most important questions people should be asking about metal roofing?
It should be who's doing the installation. It takes focus, precision, and technical experience.
We'll answer all your questions.
After all, we are masters of metal roofing.
I'm Mike.
And Mary Sweda. Enjoy the long-lasting architectural strength and beauty of a Sweda metal roof.
SWITA metalroofing.com.
Sweda Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Mark Tauscher here, and you know I love a smart play from the pocket. That's why I joined UW Credit Union. With their mobile banking app, I can make smart plays from anywhere. And with rewards checking perks like early payday, I score my money sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and make the smart play by becoming a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
At J&K Security Solutions, protecting your home or business is more than just the priority. It's what we do. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. Since 1987, J&K Security Solutions has been committed to providing Madison and southern Wisconsin with dependable security solutions. Whether it's security, fire, or the latest automation solutions, go to jksecurity.com to see how J&K can help keep your home or business secure. Get protected now at jksecurity.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Your family's safety is your responsibility, and it starts with a solid roof. When the next storm rips through and takes some of your shingles with it, call Badgerland Exteriors. Or looking to replace your whole roof but don't want to break the bank? Let the team at Badgerland Exteriors give you a free, no obligations estimate.
AJ with Badgerland Exteriors here. Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
Is this a prove-it year for Jordan Love?
Jordan Love's biggest flaw is his contract. He's always going to be closer to Dak Prescott as far as, man, this guy's good, but should he be getting paid that much money?
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
He was the general manager of the New York Jets when they acquired Brett Favre from the Green Bay Packers. ESPN NFL front office insider and apparently the star of dinner parties. He is Mike Tannenbaum, and he joins us on Wilde Tausch. Jesse and Tausch today. Jason has the day off. Mike, Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike joins us every week on this show, and we have heard so much about your performance at his annual dinner party for the ESPN Radio Unsportsmanlike crew. What do you have to say about all this?
Well, I would just say that when you go out to dinner with the same people over and over again, you got to just ask thought-provoking, differentiated questions, and this way people just don't, hey, how are you? How was your day? Blah blah blah. So you try to get a little bit more interesting and take people a little bit out of their comfort zone.
Mike, has there been a time that you asked a question at one of those that really struck a nerve with somebody? Because it does create great conversation, but it also, you don't know which way you're going, especially if it's somebody you don't know that well.
Yeah, no, that's what makes it so fun and interesting. This all started with behavioral-based interviewing at the Combine. For years and years and years, you'd ask players, hey, why'd you fail this drug test, or what happened, why'd you get arrested, whatever bad news they had. They always gave, the same canned answer about, I was young, it'll never happen again, which, by the way, could be true. And, we got into much more interesting questions, like give us an example of you being a good teammate, or what's something you've worked hard at in your playing career that you were unable to accomplish, things that show selflessness or some awareness of how they need to get better.
So, Mike, was there ever a time that you did one of those and you were really high on the player, but the way they answered or the way you kind of analyzed it, that you took them off your board?
100% before they left the room. A couple times with quarterbacks, we would show their interceptions, and basically we would ask them to take us through the play, like what happened. And if the quarterback would blame others, like, oh, that was a really bad play call, or the receiver ran the wrong route, invariably, like, we would either take them off our board or knock them down. And the reason for it, guys, is if you're going to pay somebody millions and millions of dollars to be, as Coach Parcells would say, your battlefield commander, you want somebody that's always taking the blame and always giving the credit. So it was a big indice of a quarterback's ability to be selfless when they would describe bad plays to us.
All right, Mike, last one on this, because it's been 20 some odd years since I took the Wonderlic and did the New York Giants test. Was ridiculous. Like, it was 300 questions. I don't know if you guys would get all of that if you weren't with the Giants, how that all worked. But what is the correct answer if you're a dog or a cat guy? I never understood that.
Yeah, Mark, I'm not sure, but maybe the Giants had, some, issues with how you played, so maybe it was, on both sides.
I think you're probably right on all of those. That is a fair point. Mike, you have been a huge supporter of Jordan Love and his development. And when you joined us last year, and again, thank you for joining us this year, you kind of said that, this was, I guess, 2 years ago, hey, he should be getting paid at the top of the market. Well, the Packers paid him close to that. Obviously, the market is resetting every time we go through. Has he kind of lived up to your expectations as far as what you've seen since he signed that deal?
For the most part, look, it's not perfect. I get that. And certainly the contract's going to put a bullseye on him, understandably. But I just think he's ultra talented. And I'm just, outside of maybe a Justin Herbert, if you're thinking about how you'd want a quarterback to look and be built and have his ability and talent in 2026, I just don't know there's many people on the planet that have the skills that he does. And, you could just tell the way he plays, it's really important to him. Look, is some of the decision-making ideal? No, but, most quarterbacks are going to make mistakes. But I'm just, I think if I'm Green Bay, I'm really happy he's our quarterback.
Mike Tannenbaum, ESPN NFL front office insider, joining us on Wilde Tausch, Jesse and Tausch today. All right, so a lot has been made, Mike, of the Jeremy Fowler survey comparing Jordan Love and that he's not in the top 10 rankings of NFL quarterbacks entering this 2026 season. But Caleb Williams did make the cut into the top 10. When you compare how the Bears are structured right now and the Packers, because obviously the rivalry reached a new level last year with those showdowns in December and January, and of course the one in the playoffs top of mind, how do you compare how the Bears are built right now to how the Packers are built right now, especially at the quarterback position?
Yeah, look, I think Caleb Williams has tons of ability, and we saw that last year with some of the incredible splash plays that unfortunately Green Bay doesn't want to remember. But I was concerned by his completion percentage. And look, I think it'll get better, and certainly he has the ability to, but you got to be able to complete over 60% of your passes to be an elite quarterback. And I think year two in Ben Johnson's system will help. I think Colson Loveland, is going to be a star at the tight end position. But I'm encouraged by Caleb Williams, but we got to see more.
So, Mike, this is something from a Packer fan standpoint, obviously as a player, the Bears rivalry was it was a one-sided affair for a long time. And I'm sure you've been on one side of that or the other in your long career as an executive. But how would you, if you're sitting down talking to Matt LaFleur and you're the GM or you're running the program, how would you advise him to handle, because the Ben Johnson part of it does feel like there is an intensity deficit. That was the case, and then obviously you lose a playoff game, that changes. But with the handshake and with all the stuff that goes on there, the Bears very upfront saying, we hate the Packers, the owners, the GM, the coach. Do you, if you're leading the Packers, do you lean into that, or do you just say, we're going to keep doing what we're doing, we have bigger fish to fry, even with that tough loss in this long offseason that Packer fans are dealing with in dealing with Bear fans?
Yeah, guys, for me, it's definitely more the latter. Like, we're a really good organization. We've been really competitive for a long time. You know, we're not perfect, but we make a lot more good decisions than bad decisions. And, yeah, we lost a tough one last year, but we know who we are, and it's not about handshakes or anything like that. It's about building a good team. And, guys, I'll tell you what, there's a really good expression that applies, which is in an off-season, an NFL team is going to tell you what they think about themselves in terms of how the moves they made. And I agreed with what they did, by the way, for Micah Parsons. But when you make a move like that, they're also telling you, like, they feel like they were close. So I don't think it's about a handshake. I think this is about a team that's really well run, made a lot of really good decisions over a long period of time, and went out and got a generational superstar talent that, you know, unfortunately got hurt. But if you were starting an NFL team today and you said, who are the 5 best non-quarterbacks when healthy, I'm hard-pressed to think there's 5 players in the sport you would start a team with, you know, before you got to Micah Parsons.
Like to hear that. Mike Tannenbaum, ESPN NFL front office insider. Mike, how close is Brian Gutekunst to being the best general manager in the NFL?
Oh, boy. He's rock solid. I think he does a really, really good job. And I think the only way you can have sustained success in the system is you got to stack, you know, good drafts one on top of the other. They don't have to be perfect, but you really need to get 3 or 4 like significant contributing players each and every draft. That allows you to have, you know, for the most part, like cost certainty on a good part of your roster, which allows you to be opportunistic like a Micah Parsons. So the fact that they were in that position really tells you, you know, the job that Brian Gutekunst has done, because it allowed him to, quote unquote, go take a shot.
Mike, the last one for me. How do you evaluate you draft a kid? And I'm going to give Marshawn Lloyd, who is a talented running back. He has not been able to stay healthy. He's only played 1 game, but he's explosive. He brings the difference if he can stay healthy. When do you as an executive look at it and say, I can't count on him anymore? Is it after year 2, year 3, when you see that talent, but you have to keep those roster spots? How would you approach a player that's going into his 3rd year who has not been able to stay healthy but has immense talent you know can help your football team?
Yeah, you know, generally speaking, 3 years is a reasonable amount of time. You know, we talked a little bit about J.J. McCarthy today on ESPN, and, you know, J.J. McCarthy's 23. He's played in 10 games. You know, the only grade you give a Marshawn Lloyd or a J.J. McCarthy is a grade of incomplete. So you try to be patient. You try to help them in the offseason get in great shape, be as proactive as you can, and then you make the best decision possible. You know, with the expanded practice squads now, you know, it's not ideal, but you can send somebody down to the practice squad. Obviously, you run the risk of losing that player, but he is talented. He is explosive, and you try. You know, the worst thing is not for Marshawn Lloyd to fail. It would be for him to be successful someplace else.
No doubt. All right, Mike, I lied. Last one. What is the best question someone asked you that got the best dinner conversation that you are now using on yours when you go out to dinner?
Well, this is somewhat Green Bay specific, so I'm happy to share this.
Oh, good.
Yeah. What is the best compliment you've ever received? And so for me, growing up in the industry, my idol was Ron Wolf, somebody that I just looked up to immensely. And, you know, fortunately, my first year as a GM, we went to the playoffs. I'll never forget, I was driving home, and I got a call from Ron Wolf, who said, you did a heck of a job. To make the playoffs in the first year as a GM is incredibly hard. Nobody knows how hard these jobs are except for the people that have done it, and you've earned the respect. You have to assume if everyone's healthy, everyone played their best game. I put Jordan Love and Micah Parsons ahead of everybody else. I think Detroit's another team that's really hard to evaluate because for whatever reason, guys, I feel like every year their defense gets decimated. If they could stay healthy on the back end, I think their A game is really good. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is up there in the Micah Parsons world of just great, a talent that can change the game all by himself. I think Chicago is going to be competitive. I don't know, because of their pass rush, that I put them in the same conversation as Green Bay and Detroit.
I like to hear that. All right. And then last one, Mike Tausch and I were talking about this article over at ESPN.com this morning. The Packers ranked 30th out of 32 teams in the under 25 talent rankings. Only the Rams and the Broncos, who were both in conference championship games last year, are ranked lower than the Packers on this list. Is that a good thing, a bad thing, or is it just kind of a thing?
Yeah, I think it's a little arbitrary because, again, like if you look at, it starts with the quarterback, and Who, if you could take any quarterback in the league right now, how many would you take to start a team now if this was year one before Jordan Love? So, look, could Matt Stafford have a better year than Jordan? Of course he can. But my point is, like, given his age, given his production, given his ability, given his character, I just don't know how many guys I'm taking before I'm taking Jordan Love. And that includes guys like Lamar Jackson, missed 4 games last year, Patrick Mahomes with the ACL, Joe Burrow, who's had durability issues. So Jordan Love gets a lot of the benefit of the doubt just given his ability and his age.
I'm not sure anyone's been a stronger national advocate for Jordan Love, and I'm not sure anyone's a better dinner party invite than Mike Tannenbaum, ESPN NFL front office insider. Mike, thanks so much for the time you're sharing with us, with Tausch and I here today. We really appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Mike Tannenbaum, ESPN NFL front office insider, joining us on Wilde and Tausch. Wow.
What is the best compliment you got, Jesse? What has been the best?
Well, I mean, number one, Becca said, "You don't look that bad in that swimsuit," and I thought that was pretty nice of her when she said that. It was one of the best.
Nice.
And then also, when I've heard, when I've heard feedback on some of my like play-by-play from tomorrow's Cousin Sub of the Day, Matt LePay, Brian Anderson, Jeff, when they all say like, "Wow, you're really good. Like you've got really talented skills," I'm like, it gave me some butterflies the first couple of times I heard that. So that's always nice to hear. So that's what came to mind first. When Mike brought that up. So we'll talk more about what Mike had to say, not just about compliments, but also about Jordan Love and the Packers. He's very high on the Green Bay Packers. I like hearing that. We'll get into that to kick off the 10 o'clock hour coming up. Tausch, first, you want to tell us about Jones Dairy Farm?
I do indeed. It is a family-owned and operated business for 7 generations right in Fort Atkinson, all the way back to 1889. And they have great bacon. They have great sausage. I love the fact it's all from the original family recipe. They have been putting clean food together for a long time, not the fillers and the nitrites, the gluten, all of that, all natural, right along with Jones Dairy. Find all of their products in grocery stores across Wisconsin. Check the website's product finder at jonesdairyfarm.com.
10 o'clock hour, Wilde and Tausch kicks off in 2 minutes. Stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
ESPN Madison's Mark Tauscher here for Outdoor Living Unlimited. Well, my wife and I chose Outdoor Living Unlimited to build our outdoor project. When we met with Aaron and Eric Brown, owners and brothers of Outdoor Living Unlimited, we felt like they were the right guys to work with. We share the same hardworking values, and their showroom is a must-see at 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. If you're looking for a new deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, and more, Outdoor Living Unlimited is a must. Start with OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com and end with an amazing outdoor space.
This is former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station on Wisconsin.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. Big news for Wisconsin athletics and our friends over at ESPN Milwaukee and 620 WTMJ. The Wisconsin Badgers have announced a new multi-year, multi-team deal with 620 and 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee to become Milwaukee's new radio home of Wisconsin Badgers athletics. Listen to Wisconsin Badgers football, men's basketball, and volleyball this year on 620 WTMJ with select broadcasts on 94.5. Also, regular season women's basketball, women's hockey, and men's hockey will air on the ESPN Wisconsin app, along with postseason broadcasts airing on 620 and or 94.5. Read more about the big news for the Badgers and 620 over on WTMJ.com. Then it's an off day for the Milwaukee Brewers after they took 2 of 3 games versus the Mets this week. It's their first day off since returning from the All-Star break last Friday. They're 5-1 since the break and just half a game behind the Dodgers for the best record in baseball. They return to action tomorrow night at At.AM Field, 3:10 first pitch against the Rockies.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Time now for headlines as we predict what will happen on Sunday as the Packers take on the Vikings at Lambeau Field.
Packers Hall of Famer Mike Tauscher.
I'm going to do something crazy.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio at ESPN Madison.
I'm going to say kissing cousins, pack bikes tie.
And celebrating 10 great years on ESPN Wisconsin.
He missed it again! And will end this crazy game in a tie. Oh my goodness.
This is Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
A lot going on in that 9 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch today. Big announcement, Wisconsin Badgers football airing on 620 WTMJ and 94.5 ESPN in Milwaukee this year. Men's basketball, women's basketball, hockey, all coming to WTMJ, ESPN Milwaukee, the 620 WTMJ app, the ESPN Wisconsin app. Big news this morning for us here at Good Karma. And then also Mike Tannenbaum, ESPN NFL front office insider, just joined us a few moments ago. If you missed any of the conversation, that was a pretty jam-packed about 15 minutes we spent with Mike T. You can check it out on the ESPN Wisconsin app, the ESPN Madison, ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels. Dinner party conversation, and a lot of praise for Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers, which at least one of our fans was not a fan of. Greg in Franklin texts in, no wonder Tannenbaum is not a current GM. Love sucks. That's not very nice, Greg. I don't think that's really accurate either. What'd you take away from Mike Tannenbaum's appearance there, old T?
Well, I was interested to see because obviously when he was with the Jets, there was a heated rivalry with the Patriots, and the Jets were always the underdog, and the Jets always were kind of punching up. So I was not surprised by his answer. I am very curious to see what the Packers' approach organizationally and from the head coach are going to be regarding what we saw at the end of last season, finishing, but really that the intensity that we saw with the Bears and their hatred of the Green Bay Packers, how you balance not going too far, but also understanding that it needs to be different. And I thought, Mike answered that the way I thought he would, but I was just curious to get his perspective because he sat in those meetings. He's been with Rex Ryan, where I'm sure there's a frustration level of how can we beat Brady and Belichick, and how do we act, or what's our organizational mode going to be in regards to handling adversity like the Green Bay Packers will have to do. So that was interesting. And then, the Marshawn Lloyd part of it, I'm always curious how far you will go when you have a talent that can play. Because if Marshawn Lloyd was a 6th or 7th round pick and he was just a nice player, I'm not sure you'd even be rolling with him yet because he's been unavailable. But I do believe, and I always tell you this, that talent, you get more opportunities when you have the talent and you could flash. Teams want to see more. And Mike basically saying the last thing you want to do is see him succeed somewhere else. You want to give him and let him exhaust every opportunity as a member of your football team. If you draft him and believe in him the way obviously Green Bay does, you want to let him succeed or fail here. not somewhere else. And I think that time he needs to have a good preseason. I think training camp does not mean the same as it used to. That doesn't mean it's still not vitally important for guys' careers, especially guys that haven't proven themselves. I'd argue this is the most important from a player standpoint. Marshall and Lloyd, this is the most important training camp. Him and Jordan Morgan, but Jordan Morgan's going to be your starting left tackle, almost guaranteed. Marshall and Lloyd is probably battling for a roster spot. And he's one of those guys that if he does stay healthy and does perform, not only could he have a roster spot, he'd have a huge role on a team that is chasing a championship. And that's how fine that line is for him. And that's kind of what I anticipated, and I think Mike kind of gave us that same picture.
Yeah, I agree. I think everything you and Jason have said all offseason, what we know about Marshawn Lloyd going into this year, I think what he's said during OTAs, he knows how important this camp is for him to prove that he belongs on this roster and that he can be a significant role player here in the National Football League for the Green Bay Packers. For as important as you have declared winning the division is for the Packers here in 2026, I was interested in how Mike T ranked the Packers among the NFC North teams. And he said basically what we agreed on when we were at Hard Rock Casino Rockford a month and a half ago, and what we've heard nationally and what the odds say. It looks like the Packers and the Lions are kind of on this tier 1 at the top of the NFC North, and then a little bit below them is the Bears. And then the big wild card is the Vikings, who are probably going to finish last, but have a chance if Kyler Murray is good. This thing could actually take off, and they could be a legitimate contender. So I'm really interested in that, but I like when we have national perspective, local perspective, and then the odds makers, and everybody's kind of in agreement on what it's going to look like going into a season. If we get kind of that, Jason and journalists will say you want to get 3 sources on something, and that's when you usually can run with a story. That's when you can confirm news is happening. Like if you can nationally, locally, and the odds, if they all say Packers, Lions up here, and then everybody else a little bit lower, I like the sound of that heading into this year and being kind of a 2-team race to win the NFC North with the Bears looking at taking a step back. Do you agree with that?
I've been pretty upfront all offseason that I think the Bears, the way they won, now there's variables that we don't know. Is Caleb Williams going to be more productive quarters 1 through 3? If they are, the Bears are going to be formidable regardless. But I think everybody is looking at it like that's not sustainable. Everybody is looking at how the Bears played and won last year, and I know from my perspective that's not sustainable. You can catch lightning in a bottle, and you can start riding the wave. Well, that wave can also crash, and then it's really hard to dig yourself up out of the sand, and you got to make sure you didn't break anything. And that's where I see it. But Ben Johnson is a ball coach, and I think he knows what they did last year is not sustainable, that they need to do it a different way. So this division is going to be very tough. I still believe that the Green Bay Packers, if they're healthy, are the best team in it. And I think Detroit is right there. If they can stay healthy, I think those are your 2 best teams. But there's a lot of variables, and the one thing I would say is I think you can doubt Ben Johnson at your own regrets, because he's proven over the course of his time as the OC and obviously what he did in year 1 with the Bears that he knows what he's doing.
It was, I just looked this up, it was 2 summers ago when Mike Tannenbaum first used his take that he would take Jordan Love over every other NFL quarterback if he was starting a team. And he kind of, I don't know if it's double, triple, quadrupled down how many times he said that over the last couple of years. But he said that again here. He said it with us just now that he doesn't know how many quarterbacks he would take over Jordan Love if he was starting a franchise with him right now. He also said something very similar about Micah Parsons as far as any player in the National Football League he wouldn't want to take before starting a franchise with him. To have 2 guys that a former general manager of the National Football League is saying that about at 2 critical positions, that makes me feel good as a Green Bay Packers fan heading into training camp here in 2026. How about you?
So let's just look at it this way. This season, because you can't project out 3-4 seasons, because as I tell you guys all the time, the NFL comes at you fast. If you're saying quarterback and best defensive player, if it's a corner, if it's a rush, obviously it's Jordan Love and Micah Parsons. Who's better than them? Matthew Stafford, Myles Garrett, all right. For this season, I'll give you that. Tell me how else. Bo Nix and Surtain? No. Drake May and Gonzalez? No.
Patriots fans might tell you, yeah. I mean,
maybe
we undersold Drake May. We looked at it when we did the quarterback ranking. He was a lot better than we
Drake
thought
May's
he was.
I'm not poo-pooing Drake May. I'm saying Micah Parsons is such a difference maker.
He's elite. Yeah,
we saw it last year. Who's got a better duo? Offense and defensive star, quarterback and who's better? I would say you could say Myles Garrett and Matthew Stafford. I'm not fighting you on that.
The Rams.
Now Stafford's back. Seattle, Sam Darnold, and Seattle's got a group collective, no doubt. They're legit. Who else? This is a star. This is not the same as the NBA, where if you have two great stars, you're going to be there. The NFL is different, and I think it's actually trending in a different way. And then you could ask, are the Packers on the right side of the trend or the wrong side of the trend in going big? Because they went big. I don't know the answer to that. We'll find out. But I know this. When the money is on the table, I want stars. And I want stars that can perform at a high level. We have not seen that recently. Mike has been hurt. Jordan didn't get it done when we needed to. He didn't get a first down when we needed to stop the bleeding in the third and fourth quarter last year. But I'm asking a simple question. Quarterback and star defensive player tandem. It doesn't make football, but it certainly helps. Who's got it better than us?
I got one for you.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson and Trey Hendrickson with the Baltimore Ravens.
No. Next.
How can you just dismiss that like that?
Hendrickson's
I just did.
I mean, he's getting old, but there's a reason why he's 31. It's not like he's like crazy old, and
wasn't he super injured
Lamar Jackson, guys. Lamar Jackson did not have a good year last year. He didn't.
He's also a two-time MVP, and
I get it.
Has won multiple playoff games.
Lamar Jackson.
He's had some tough playoff performances, but
don't compare Micah Parsons and Trey Hendrickson. Though. Come on.
No, but if Micah Parsons and Lamar Jackson are closer, is Trey Hendrickson and Jordan Love the equivalent? And then that's where I'm looking. Like again, we're looking at the tandem. It's not weighted more one way or the other.
I'm not on board with that comp. I don't think it's close, but you guys can think that way. That's fine. I'm not going to argue.
What do you mean, you guys? Don't say you guys. That was a Jesse Nelson bit.
Well, I don't know. I thought you were shaking your head.
I was shaking my head like, nah, I don't see Trey Hendrickson and Micah on the same level.
Ryan Wollersheim's our cousin some of the day producing the show. He's been here the last couple of days. You had a couple. It seemed like you wanted to jump in.
There's one
with a
that
couple.
I think could rival Micah Parsons and Jordan Love, and it depends on a big bounce back for this quarterback. But I think C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson next season, if C.J. Stroud bounces back in a massive way, because he was terrible in the playoffs. That's a big if. But
what does my old buddy T. Stro always tell you guys? What did my old buddy Terry Strong always say?
If's a big word.
Indeed. Will Anderson's a stud, no doubt. And they have Danielle Hunter, who's another great. Their defense, give me the Houston Texans pass rush over Green Bay. Hey, no doubt, Captain Obvious. That's
maybe
easy.
Every position on that
I would
defense.
say Goff.
I want Mike.
Goff and Hutchison would be in that equation.
You think?
They're in the equation.
Goff's
Absolutely.
far more accomplished than Jordan Love is at this point, I suppose. You're right. He's been to a Super Bowl with a different team, and he's been a number one seed and won the division. Yeah, I think there's a fair argument to be made there. Goff and
Bosa
Aiden Hutchinson.
and
Purdy,
who the Niners quarterback at Purdy.
Bosa and Fred Warner and Purdy.
Taking Green Bay.
We all would
Green Bay.
We all would agree Jordan Love's better than Brock Purdy, but the combo could make that interesting. But Micah's better than Bosa right now.
Too. They're both coming off of big injuries. My point on why I brought this up is when you start looking at that part of it, Green Bay is in a really good spot now. That doesn't win you football games on its own, but it certainly helps.
844-770-3776. Yeah, I was letting.
What are you pausing about?
I was letting that sit. Tausch, it's a dramatic effect to let something sit. I know you like to interrupt people all the time. You let something sit for a second. It's impactful. It hits. You're like, wow, that was something profound that old T just said there. Yeah. We're going to play trivia coming up next before Homer joins us on a special Thursday appearance. 844-770-3776. Wilde and Tausch trivia presented by Cousins Subs and Vortex Golf. Daytime Ryan Wollersheim, third day in a row making our trivia questions. Mm-hmm. What is today's category?
Well, with the big news for 620 WTMJ and our friends over at 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, feel like we got to roll it back. Badgers Tuesday trivia on a Thursday.
Badgers Trivia Tuesday on a Thursday. I like it. It's like when we did Scary Movie Monday in college on a Thursday or a Saturday or any day but Monday.
You guys did Scary Movie Monday?
Well, a couple of times. And then we did Scary Movie Monday on Thursday and on Wednesday and on Sunday. And
so you guys just watched a lot of scary movies?
Anytime we threw a scary movie, it was Scary Movie Monday on whatever
Did
day.
you pick the movies or did somebody else?
We kind of rotated. It was a group of four of us living in an apartment.
What was the scariest movie you ever picked?
What's the hotel one? 1412 or something like that.
Shining.
We did watch The Shining was one of it.
Good movie.
It looked a little dated, honestly, when we watched it at the time.
Wow.
It was a little dated.
Judgmental Jesse.
Caller 15, 844-770-3776. Caller 15 will play Badgers Trivia Tuesday on a Thursday. Before we go any further, Tausch, tell us about American Family Insurance.
Brew Crew, your dream game day starts at the parking lot patio located outside American Family Field next to the third base gate entrance. Parking lot patio. It is your go-to pregame hangout. Play yard games, grab free giveaways. It's free, it's fun, and it's open to fans of all ages. Stop by before your next Brewers home game. Parking Lot Patio, presented by American Family Insurance.
Badgers Trivia Tuesday on a Thursday in honor of our big news for 620 WTMJ and ESPN Milwaukee. That's coming up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here, encouraging you to save money and help save the planet by making an energy switch to Everlight Solar. It's an exciting time of year as we get into the heart of the summer. And while that means more time in the sun, more time spent with friends and family, and more fun at home or traveling, it also means more money being spent to do all of those things. Well, if you're looking to save some cash, why not save money and help save the planet by making an energy switch to Everlight Solar? Our family made the switch to solar and we love it, but at first we weren't even quite sure where to start. That's when we met the great team over at Everlight Solar. From the very first conversation, they educated us on the benefits of solar while also helping keep the process simple. Join us in saving a ton of money and creating a greener environment for our family and the community by switching to solar. Learn more. Schedule a free consultation at everlightsolar.com. That's everlightsolar.com.
Paul Hansen here, founder of Iron Jock. Worried about the heat this summer? Don't sweat it. Our gear is made for real life. Iron Jock apparel combines moisture wicking with superior cooling and advanced odor-fighting silver ion technology that eliminates 99.9% of odor causing bacteria, so you are fresh for whatever's next. Our focus is simple. Make apparel that performs hard no matter where you are or what you are doing. Visit us at ironjock.com to experience the difference.
When your car needs care, trust the team that treats it like their own. Conant Automotive in Stoughton. From oil changes and brakes to engine diagnostics and major repairs, their ASE certified technicians deliver honest, reliable service you can count on. Plus, they offer loaner vehicles and convenient after-hours drop-off to fit your schedule. Serving the Stoughton area since 2006, trust the local brand that's built a reputation for dependable auto repair. Visit Conant Automotive on Highway 51 in Stoughton or learn more at ConantAuto.com.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Planning for your financial future shouldn't feel overwhelming. I'm Brian from KMP Wealth Management, and I believe your financial plan should be as unique as you are. Whether you're a details person or you prefer the simplified view, we've got you covered. Plus, with our easy-to-use online platform, you can check your progress anytime, anywhere, even at 2 a.m. in your pajamas if that's your thing. At Canopy Wealth Management, we promise care, competence, and clarity in everything that we do. Get started today at canopy-wealth.com.
Paid for by Canopy Wealth Management. Canopy Wealth Management is registered as an investment advisor with the SEC.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our great friends at Road America. Turn your day into an experience at Road America. Just a short drive from Milwaukee and Green Bay, this legendary track offers more than just racing. Walk the grounds, explore every corner, and watch action from wherever you want. Kids 16 and under get in free with a paying adult at the gate. And on-site camping lets you stay all weekend. Up next is the Moto Sports Car Endurance Grand Prix featuring IMSA, July 30th through August 2nd. Great food, great views, and non-stop action. Road America, where racing meets the outdoors. Check out roadamerica.com.
We're on the Brewers.
This Brewers organization, the way that it operates.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
The expectation has become excellent.
Nobody covers the Crew like 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Brewers. This is Wilde Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Jesse and Tausch on Wilde and Tausch. Jason's summer sabbatical continues. Homer scheduled to appear coming up next. Big day for Good Karma. 620 WTMJ, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Milwaukee's new home of Wisconsin Badgers athletics. 620 WTMJ and 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Simulcasting Wisconsin football games starting in 2026. And that includes the ESPN Wisconsin app and the 620 WTMJ mobile app as well. Wisconsin men's basketball, women's basketball, men's and women's hockey, and of course we've already been the home of Wisconsin volleyball, all continuing on 620 WTMJ and on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the WTMJ mobile app. In celebration of that big news, that big announcement that Old T shared on Wisconsin's Morning News earlier today, Wilde and Tausch Trivia, presented by Cousin Subs and Vortex Golf, presents a Badgers Trivia Tuesday on a Thursday.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Cousin Subs. Cool down with the summer shake from Cousin Subs. Enjoy 4 delicious flavors: vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, and mint. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. And by Vortex Golf. Trivia winners this week receive a hat, ball marker, sticker, and a blade rangefinder courtesy of Vortex Golf. Rangefinders you can bet on.
We welcome in today's contestant, Travis in Blue Mounds. Travis, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch Trivia. How you doing?
Good morning. Good, you?
We are wonderful. Having a great day here on the old Wilde and Tausch program. Tausch, you've had a busy morning. How many questions do you want to ask here from Wilde and Tausch Trivia?
I don't have the questions, so I can't help you.
All right, you're playing along then.
Oh, I was told not to
I'm going
send
to jump in.
I was told not to send him to Mark Tauscher.
Well, all right. Hey,
yeah, Wooly, I'm good.
Tausch has been on every show this morning. He's had a big day. We'll give Old T the segment here to enjoy it. I'm on board. Travis, question number 1, Badgers Trivia. The Wisconsin Badgers men's basketball team has 6 international players on its roster for the 2026-27 season. 3 of those 6 players hail from this land located down under. Easy there, Wooly. Is that land down under New Zealand, Australia, or Illinois?
B.
Australia would be the correct answer.
Well done, Travis.
That was kind of tricky. I'm not going to lie to you. I would have maybe said New Zealand.
You would not have said New Zealand.
They do have
I maybe would have.
They have 2 players from New Zealand. So between Australia and New Zealand, they have 5 of their 6 international players.
So, this is where this gets New Zealand, because
Kirk Penny is Mr. New Zealand.
Yes,
now.
he is.
Australia is a country and a continent. Is New Zealand part of the continent of Australia?
Well, I believe it's called Oceania now, Jesse. You might want to update
When did that happen?
Your geography.
Well, I did not get
I think when Pluto lost its planet.
No,
It's actually, yes.
I was
It's right
in
around the
school
same
when
time.
Pluto lost its planet, but then Pluto got back into the mix.
No,
Yeah,
you-
it was like 2007.
Which
Pluto-
school were you in? College?
High school.
Oh.
Yeah. Oceania. When did that
That's what they were calling it when I was in high school.
Question.
The modern era.
Question 2, Travis and Blue Mounds.
It'll always be Burma to me.
That's not even remotely close.
Travis, question 2. I'm sorry, let me start that one over. This Wisconsin men's hockey player appeared on Wilde Tausch back in April. Oh, good interview. He discussed his game-winning goal that sent the Badgers to this year's Frozen Four in Las Vegas, which I still think I should have been there covering it. Which player was it? Was it Ben Dexheimer, Kendre Miller, or Cole Caulfield?
I don't know.
That's a tough question, Wooly, but Travis nailed it.
Sure did.
Dexy. Ben Dexheimer.
That's why I made it the first answer, because I'm like, if I'm going to make it tough, make it as easy as possible on the caller. I think it worked. I think it worked for you, Travis.
I thought Wooly was going to patronize the fans with easy questions
The
here.
other two are fairly difficult, but if you are a men's hockey fan, you would know Kendre Miller is one of the defensemen for the Stanley Cup champion Carolina Hurricanes, who just won. And then Cole Caulfield, one of the best scorers in the NHL, playing for the Montreal Canadiens. So they're all three NHL players, or they're all three former Wisconsin Badgers players, but one of them's a current player.
Why are the Canadiens called the Habs?
I think it has something to do with Oceania.
Oh, weird.
It's a weird connection. Not many know. The Great British Empire stretched from like Canada, Australia at one point, and that was all.
Montreal and Sydney. Okay. Question number 3, Travis and Blue Mounds. This legendary Wisconsin Badgers play-by-play broadcaster will be tomorrow's cousin sub of the day on Wilde Tausch, filling in to co-host alongside Mark Tauscher for the very first time, all 3 hours. Is that Wisconsin women's basketball and volleyball broadcaster John Audius, ESPN radio host and UW-Madison alum Evan Cohen, or Wisconsin men's basketball and football broadcaster Matt LePay?
C.
Travis was listening at the start of the show. Yes, sir! Matt LePay! Dad! In for all 3 hours tomorrow on Wilde Tausch.
He's going to get so sick of that.
Yep. Travis, you got every question right. That means you get all 4 entries into tomorrow's drawing that Dad will be able to pull out of the legendary cheese fry helmet.
So weird that you say it that way.
Fake Dad. Usher George is good with it. We're on good terms. Travis, thanks for playing. Thanks for tuning in. I always appreciate you.
Thank you.
Travis and Blue Mounds, Wilde Tausch Trivia, presented by Cousin Subs and Vortex Golf. Tausch, what do you have on the docket for Matt LePay as our cousin sub of the day tomorrow, all 3 hours on Wilde Tausch? You got to have some fun plans in store for, because usually, like, you're in his house in the radio booth. Now he's coming to your house here in the Everlight Solar Studio. What you got planned?
We'll have some stuff. I don't know. That's what my producer. I don't know who's producing tomorrow.
Right here, baby.
Back where he belongs.
Back in the old booth behind the glass.
We'll have nothing planned. Yeah, we'll have nothing.
Yep.
So,
toss our hands up in the air and see what sticks. Matt LePay, all 3 hours tomorrow. Cousin sub of the day with Old T and I here on Wilde and Tausch. Homer, the voice of Marquette men's basketball, also on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. He is scheduled to appear coming up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wild Bill goes yard.
Is a fly ball, deep center field. Marcy's back, track, wall, bye, baseball!
Your home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
Life moves fast. Your car should move with it. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, they've got a vehicle and payment options that fit every stage of your journey. Just graduated? Start smart in a Chevy Trax. Stylish, efficient, and budget-friendly. Growing your family? The Equinox gives you the space and versatility you need. And when life gets even bigger, the Traverse or Tahoe is ready for it all. Kids, carpools, and road trips. Visit them today in Sun Prairie or online at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Zimbrick Chevrolet, the name you can trust.
The Exteriors Company, built for Wisconsin, backed by expertise. From our family to yours, roofing, window, siding, gutters, and doors. Your solution-based company, community strong, and service that will please. Get a free estimate today. The Exteriors Company, built for Wisconsin, backed by expertise.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
The best summer moments aren't always planned, and that's why Carbless is made for whatever's next. Delivering bold flavor in a convenient canned cocktail, Carbless is ready to go wherever summer takes you. With 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and only 100 calories, it fits seamlessly into your lifestyle so that you can enjoy every summer moment with Bliss. And while you're making the most of the season, try the limited-time Americana Backyard Bliss Variety Pack or the Lemon Iced Tea 4-pack before they're gone. Carbless, bold flavor in every sip. Find your Bliss near you at drinkcarbless.com.
Friday nights taste better at the Bridges. The Bridges Bar and Restaurant is back with a classic Friday fish fry, plus non-fish specials and prime rib. Great food, great drinks, and a perfect way to kick off the weekend. Fridays at the table and on the course at the Bridges Golf Course in Madison.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. I've been telling you for a while now how much I've loved Pizza Hut going back to the days when I was a kid participating in their legendary Book It program. Well, how's this for a throwback? Introducing Pizza Hut's Throwback Value Menu. Features their iconic personal pan pizza, just $3. And a medium one-topping original stuffed crust pizza for just $10. You asked for it, so they delivered. It's the Throwback Value Menu from Pizza Hut. Order on the Pizza Hut app or at pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Bryce Clark is co-owner of Capital Lock, a growing business here in Madison. They implemented a workflow automation solution from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
We use DocuWare. It's a document imaging software, helps capture basically all the documents that we have.
Such as?
We primarily use it for accounts payable and accounts receivable, pretty much anything relating to our sales or payments side of accounting.
And Bryce, the impact of the DocuWare software solution from James Imaging Systems?
It's nice that we can scan in a document and now anybody can just look up that document number and we can find that piece of information.
The overall business benefit for Capital Lock?
It's made us wildly more efficient, especially me.
AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Will the Brewers get over the hump this season?
Everything they've done this year is to say, can this team beat LA? That is the goal.
Continue listening to the First Place Crew all season, right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Brewers. Homer on Wilde Tausch is brought to you by Olson Toon Landscaping, helping homeowners and businesses across Dane County create and maintain outdoor spaces since 1997. Learn more and contact the team today at olsontoon.com.
You know what that music means. Weekdays from 5 to 6 on ESPN Wisconsin. The Homer Hour with Steve the Homer True. Tausch, you often like to sign me up for extra work on this show. It's well documented over our 10-year history. In the YouTube comments, we're getting requests for Homer to return on tomorrow's show for some banter with the voice of the Badgers, new home, 620 WTMJ 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, Matt LePay. Homer, do you think we could arrange that tomorrow? You want to join us with LePay tomorrow, too? And we could do a little back and forth with the voices of these respective teams?
Normally, I would say yes. The problem is I'm filling in on the morning show 7 to 9, and so I think probably a limit there. Plus, I would not agree to anything until we have the determination by Tauscher. Tausch, if he's running the show, I mean, you mentioned earlier today the challenge we had. So I don't know. I'm curious how he analyzes all of that. Is he going to want Matt to run it? Clearly, I can't run it. So I'm curious as to what thought process he's going through right now. In fact, my first question is going to be, so how are you going to hand LePay? Who you going to let him run it? I mean, that's fine. I'm just curious what Tausch is thinking, given our experience, or does it vary from person to person? Tausch, what's the
fair questions? Fair questions.
It's a very fair question. Yeah, just like with you, Matt will probably not run the show. I'll have to, between me and Jesse in a hybrid form, will run the show, would be my guess.
Now, I'm wondering, the great announcement about the Badgers, I'm thinking, now you had said earlier that you're biased but fair. I can't remember the declaration you made about
I think that sounds right.
Yeah, I'm biased, but I'm fair, I believe was the quote.
That might have been the difference. They're thinking about doing this. No, we got to have the guy who's biased but fair. That's as good as you could ever have. If there's a connection
Homer,
there,
I didn't realize this. I didn't realize this until the announcement. Of course, the announcement that Badger football, Badger men's basketball, Badger women's basketball, we have volleyball are coming to WTMJ. Did Jim Irwin, who obviously the legendary voice of the Green Bay Packers before Wayne Larrivee, Jim Irwin did Badger football, right?
Of course, yes. Jim Irwin did everything, literally everything. I don't know that there's anything he didn't do. I don't know this, but I would bet that the performance with volleyball was a huge plus in terms of how we did it, how it was handled. I could be making this up, but I don't think so. I think that you couldn't have influenced in any way better than having the university watch how volleyball was handled. So credit to all.
Well, I think the play-by-play and how they did that with volleyball, how we have done that as a company with volleyball. 100.5 is the home for Wisconsin women's volleyball. I think the halftime and postgame shows were the one thing that held this announcement up.
Oh, you don't say. Oh, that's interesting.
That's what I heard.
Appreciate that. You can hear me again. Year 3, anchoring the studio anchoring role for Wisconsin volleyball. That's me.
That's what you heard. Being fair and biased but fair. I'm with you.
Yep,
biased but fair.
That's my biased but fair.
That's rich.
Homer, what other things have you done play-by-play wise that we don't know about?
Probably that I was the voice of Badgers basketball with Mark Shapiro for a couple of years.
Is that right?
What?
At a time when
the old nitty-gritty
did it. Oh yeah, no. Marsh was I tell people if you dislike anything I do, blame him. He's passed away because I tried to copy everything he did. He was so good at everything, and so Elroy Hirsch decided, look, if the station is paying us X amount per game, why don't we just have as many stations? Then we get 3 times as much money. Now, the idea of, having people compete against each other to create even more money, I don't think either Elroy wasn't told. But anyway, so there are 3 different stations. Brian Manthey was doing it with Ron Blomberg. Jack Ike was doing it with, he might have done it by himself, and Marsh and I were doing it. And so we did that for a couple of years, and did the triple overtime game they lost. We were there when the only time people were excited about Steve Yoder's team, because they played in Hawaii. And this was a year in which every great team in the country, in fact, Kansas was there, and they won the national title. Wisconsin, Steve Yoder, J.J. Weber, Rod Ripley, I can't remember who they were, Mike Hyden. Anyway, I had an opening game, beat Hawaii. In the California was there with Kevin Johnson. Florida was there with Dwayne Shinsis and Vernon Maxwell. And Arkansas was there with Nolan Richardson. Anyway, Wisconsin.
Was that Ralph Sampson with Virginia out there playing Chaminade?
No,
Okay.
it wasn't that year. But nicely done to bring back other Old Testament basketball. Wisconsin, for some reason, played Hawaii, beats them, and then in the semifinals plays Cal with Kevin Johnson. He gets hurt, so they make the finals. Now they're in the finals against Pittsburgh. This was the awesome Pittsburgh team. Charles Smith, Jerome Lane, the year before Sean. So, and
send it in!
Marquette has a chance, yes. Other than Tyrone Hill, the greatest rebounder I ever saw in college, the Skull. Anyway, it's Wisconsin with all these other teams that were on the other side that battled and lost, and now it's Pittsburgh, and Wisconsin's up by like 10 at half. And Marsh and I are thinking, holy crap, this team's going to be good. This is going to be historic. So Pittsburgh comes back in the second half and beats them by, I don't know, whatever it was. But again, no problem. So Wisconsin, on the way back from Hawaii, started the Big Ten game season at Minnesota. They lose to Minnesota, and it all goes to hell. But for that point, that halftime, what's the halftime? 10 minutes, the greatest positivity ever in the era of Steve Yoder.
Wow. Homer, part of that might be you're out in Hawaii in the middle of winter, sucking down pina coladas on the beach.
You look up. You look up and go, how did Wisconsin ever make the finals? It was also the greatest time. The coach of Pittsburgh was a guy named Paul Evans, total crazy man. So Larry Brown is at Kansas, and they're playing a morning game, and I just happen to be there. Nobody's there, sitting in the middle. And Larry Brown said something to one of the Pittsburgh players, and Paul Evans comes over and says, I can't use all the words. If you say another effing word to one of my players, I'm going to come over there and kick your you-know-what. And I'm thinking, wow, this is historic. I kind of hope Larry Brown does. Well, he didn't, and they never fought, but I always have wanted to ask Larry Brown if he remembers that moment as well as I did. You say another word, I'll come right over there and kick your whoa, baby.
I bet Larry Brown remembers that. I would bet Larry.
I'll bet he does. There's no doubt he does, because the guy Evans. Then Charles Smith was a great pro. With Jerome Lane, Jerome Lane. And then they had other good players. I can't remember who they were, but I think Sean Miller joined Pittsburgh the next. But I mean, they were outstanding with Evans as a coach. But yeah, I think you could ask other people under college coaches. I think in terms of crazy, he's probably top 5. Kevin O'Neill, probably top 5 as well. I don't know who the other 3 are. I'd have to think about that. But anyway, sorry to get off track, because this is a great day, and it's a great day for Wisconsin, because, as you said, TMJ, people all over the state are so happy because everybody gets 620, and they're going to all be able to get Wisconsin sports.
Looking forward to hearing it. 620 WTMJ, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, and importantly also the WTMJ mobile app and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Going to be the home of Wisconsin athletics beginning here in September 2026 with Wisconsin Notre Dame at Lambeau Field on the Sunday night of Labor Day weekend. Homer joining us on Wilde Tausch, Jesse and Tausch today. Homer, did you hear Mike Tannenbaum join us in the 9 o'clock hour of the show today?
I did. I've heard him all these questions he asks people. And he did it, and I'm like, I wish I'd been there. I'd go like, I don't care. Like, I thought your question was great. If you asked me and I was a player, are you a dog person or a cat person? I would say no, but I don't want you to draft me. I don't want to play for a team that would ask me that question. Now, you'd have to have the confidence to feel like you could play in the NFL, but that's what I would say to them. Anybody who asks me that question, I don't want to play for you. But come on, are you a dog person or a cat person? Come on.
But Homer, I actually feel like as much stuff. I mean, you charity dinners and all of the things. I actually think you would be tailor made for that. Sitting down to dinner and not having the small talk. Oh, how you doing? How's your kids? How the weather? You want to dig in. It's what you do, right?
I know, but they'd be questions as a result of the people that I'm with. Not what were the other ones you said that were to me they were just
best compliment you've ever gotten. What is your best compliment you've ever gotten?
Well, that I've ever gotten.
Yeah,
but I mean, I don't like of all the questions he could ask. You know these people. How you doing with your kids? How's your kid doing? To where you know enough about their life to ask them about them. So like, well, let's see, what's the great? Well, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I know, but I don't. That just fills time. I don't know that serves any purpose. Like if I was at a dinner with him, you just ask him about all the drafting questions and different stories. Not
you would spend time about Favre. It would be all about Favre, acquiring
Favre,
the season with Favre. That would be your deal.
Most of it would be about Favre, but then if you realize he's not going to say anything, then you move on to something else. Like I wanted to interview Rod Thorne, okay, because I think he's in the past few years. I think he's had some assistance. Well, he's the guy who drafted Michael Jordan, and Rod Thorne, this is Old Testament, played at West Virginia the year after Jerry West. Everybody knows how great Jerry West is, or do they? Is that Don Hudson? Do people know how great Jerry West was as a player?
People are starting to forget.
The logo.
Anyway, he's the logo. But anyway, you can look up how great he was. Rod Thorne was so good. Jerry West graduates the next year. He wore 44. They let Rod Thorne wear that jersey. He took West Virginia to the national championship game, Jerry West. When he's done playing, nobody's ever wearing 44 again. Maybe they're talking about, no, Rod Thorne was so good. But anyway, so he would just have incredible stories about Jordan and maybe, I don't know, his association with the Bucks, or maybe he was with Giannis was young, or, I'm not going to ask him, are you a dog person or a cat person? And if he has bad stories, I'm going to move on. I'm going to interrupt and move on to somebody else. Like I would, if you were at the table, okay, if Tausch, you were there, you know what I'd say? I'd say, you got to write a book. Do you understand, like where you came from? You were nobody. You're going to go to Youngstown State, and 12 years later, you're a 10-year NFL veteran in the Packer Hall of Fame. The same guy who was going to leave Wisconsin and go to Youngstown State only because nobody else was interested.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's an incredible story. There's one problem. You don't want to tell it, but you could hire Gary D'Amato. He's a fabulous guy. He's doing a book for a friend of mine as well. Fantastic. I mean, Jason would be
Who's
good.
He writing
Maybe
a book
he'd be
about?
better, but I didn't say Jason.
Who's he writing a book
about?
About
himself and all the actors that he's worked with in Potawatomi. Don Rickles. The stories will be incredible, I'm sure. But I guess Jason should do your book. But you don't, and just all the other things about you. Here's my famous Mark Tauscher story. You're gonna like this one.
Okay.
So I think we interviewed Brooks Bollinger for some point, and you played with him, right?
I did. Yep.
And so I can't imagine you and Tausch. It just seems, he goes, oh, I never messed with him. I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, I'd come into the locker room. Tausch started doing something. I'm not getting into an argument or discussion with him. I'm going to lose, and it's going to go on forever, and he loves it so much. Just, no, I wasn't going to participate in that. And I thought, man, what a great leader. One, he understands Tausch, and two, he's wise not to do it. But I'm sure he was different and understood the difference of every player. And I thought, there's a guy who knew Tausch and college. Tausch wants to have an argument, brings up something. Go ahead, find somebody else. I'm not getting in there with you. I'm going to lose. It's whatever. I thought, nobody described you better than he did. I ain't going there.
Yeah.
He's too good. Would you agree with that? Was his story true? I bet it was.
No, Brooks likes to mix it up. As Brooks has joined us every year now, usually at the Legends Golf outing. He likes mixing it up. Don't let him kid. Don't let him kid
to mix
yourself.
it up with you. Okay, all right. Well, I apologize then. I bought it, but okay. So
Homer, I asked the question earlier because
legitimate competition for you mixing it up. I mean, because you're going to find the people that you.
No,
okay,
he's not.
Yeah, all right.
He was.
All right,
and he still is.
He was close. All right. Nicely
tell
done.
me a
I don't know
better.
If that's true, or if you just want to get him on again.
Tell me a better quarterback, star defensive player tandem than Jordan Love and Micah Parsons.
Really? You mean there? Currently playing?
Yeah,
or
right
what?
now playing in the who's going to be playing in this upcoming season?
I don't know, and I'm curious as to your point.
Well, my point is, I understand it's a team game, but when Tannenbaum joined us, he kind of brought this up, and there's a lot of different quarterbacks that people have ranked ahead of Jordan Love, and I'm not going to argue. I'll argue, how low I would go, but there are some that it's you can argue it, but you might as well hit your head against the wall. But when you combine Micah with him, and when you need a play, Your quarterback Jordan needs to elevate, and you need to make a play in the playoff game in that second half, and he didn't. Micah Parsons obviously wasn't available, but going into this season, you have both sides of the ball, and you feel like your tandem is, if it's not the best, it's in the top 5. I put Stafford and Myles Garrett. I don't know who else I would put that I could put ahead of that tandem. And I'm looking, Jesse put, I don't even know, he put Lamar
Jackson, Trey Hendrickson.
Which is crazy. You got anybody?
I'm a little, no, I don't. I'm a little concerned because you're creating something that would increase the level of excellence. If they are, as you state, one of the best, then they better start doing something. Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything. So
why are we running from it? Why we don't need to run from it?
Because they haven't done anything as a pair. The Packers haven't done anything. All they've done.
Well, they were 9-3-1 when they had them both.
And it's too bad you play 13. You don't play 13 games. Look it.
Well, you should. Everybody's too greedy. Everybody wants all that extra cash.
This is all you need to know. If you're a good team with a good coach and with a good quarterback, you don't go 1-5. Doesn't happen. Can't happen. You don't know how you're going to win, but you're going to win something. On the other hand, they found a way to lose them all. And that's a reason to wonder. Either they're never going to really get it done, or the injuries were so great that they'll prove this season, even early on, without Micah Parsons, how good they could be, as the 2010 showed in 2011, that it wasn't just a lucky run. They were that good and proved it. You have just put more pressure on that pair than anybody up until this point in time. Nobody has added the pressure that you just did, which is fine, but, it's all on them.
Homer, what did you
pair
learn more about?
What?
Yeah, they're right there with listen, expectations come with being a Green Bay Packer. We all know that. Expectations should be sky high. You have one of the best defensive players in the entire league. You got to put Myles Garrett ahead of him. That balances out maybe the fact that Jordan is a top 10, not a top 5 quarterback. But what do you think? What did you learn more about, or I guess from last year? Do you take more of the 9-3-1 with Micah, or the 0-5 without him?
Oh, the 0-5 is huge. It's huge. Because this speaks to a concern about LaFleur, and that is, what happened? I don't know. It's always something. It's always something. And this year, the something will be the injuries. And so it'll be, what are they like the end of the year? They could struggle early or not be as good, but they might have everybody healthy by the end of the year and prove how good they are. But they won the division.
Oh, I know.
And I don't think. I think the best coach in the division is the guy in Chicago. And I think we'll see that because I think Detroit will struggle more than people think because he made them better than they are with their crazy man head coach. But we'll see. LaFleur's good. I think now I think the Bears have a better coach. I don't think they have a better quarterback, but the combination of the two might match up. So,
Homer, before you go, anything you want to say about the Milwaukee Brewers? We haven't talked about the Brewers the last couple of days here.
Yes. If the Brewers don't do as much as people hope, it's because they believe so strongly in their young pitching that it's not all about this year. Now, I had Dario Melendez on last night because Jason Wilde is on assignment. He made a good point. If you believe there's going to be a strike and no baseball season next year, it might change how you view baseball this year. But everyone should know if the Brewers don't do as much as they think, it's not because they are scared. It's because why sacrifice all these young players for a pitcher when I believe our young pitchers will even be even better next year or the next couple of years, and then we can consider adding a pitcher when there are more available because everybody wants the guy in Detroit, which means he's going to cost even more. If they don't do enough, know that it's because of the confidence they have in their outstanding young pitchers, not that they're cheap.
There it is. Homer, thanks for the time. We appreciate you, pal. Thanks.
Remember, the key. Biased, but fair.
Biased, but fair.
It is. I do have that correct. I'm old and I forget. I believe that is the Tausch, right? You did say that, right? I'll make sure.
He said it. The best part was it was like a throwaway line for him to segue into a point, but you've clung onto it now for more than a week.
No, I want to say this. Well, no, it's spectacularly good. Every play-by-play person or analyst for every team, everywhere in the world, when people ask, but I can't really respect what you say, you're paid. No. Biased but fair. That ends the discussion. You have an answer to that. They can decide if that's accurate, but there's no better answer. Biased but fair. I feel like that way with my kids. That's why I'm a parent. It should be for life. This is like the greatest 3 words ever. How should you be as a parent with your own kids? Biased but fair. How should you be as a husband to your wife? Biased but fair. It's even better. Next time I come on, I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to give all the examples of where biased but fair. Hey, as a coach, right? You don't treat all the players the same.
Yeah.
You're biased. They're my guys.
Yeah.
But fair.
Yeah. It's so good. Thanks, Homer.
Bye.
Steve the Homer True, weekdays 5 to 6, the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin, where he is also biased but fair. Gruber Law Offices, I don't know if they want to say biased but fair, but they'll say one call, that's all. They help people and families seriously injured in accidents. As Jason always says on this show, he hopes you never have to call Gruber Law Offices. That means you've never been seriously injured in an accident, you or a loved one. But if you do, Gruber Law Offices is there to help. 414-276-6666. That's the phone number. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. It's 414-276-6666. One of the largest personal injury firms in the Midwest. They're family-owned and operated, but they're a large, powerful team with resources to take on the insurance companies. Visit them today, gruber-law.com, to learn more about the firm, what they do in the community, and so much more. Or, of course, one call, that's all. 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. We'll recap the biased but fair conversation we had with Homer. Coming up next, it's Jesse and Tausch on Wilde and Tausch.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Beauty Rest Queen mattresses start at only $1,499, or get $500 off Beauty Rest Black King adjustable base sets. Only at Steinhoffels. Former Badgers linebacker Chris Orr joined the jump around and has a fascinating connection with current UW star Mason Posa.
I recruited Mason Posa when I was at Baylor. He was choosing between Baylor and Wisconsin. And I'm like, look, bro, I got nothing bad to say about Wisconsin. I'm like, I can't tell you. I'm like, I don't know those guys like that. I'm like, I don't know the staff like that. I'm like, but the place, like, I love the place. Yeah, it's crazy how football connects the world in that regard. But I was happy to see what he did.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't play games. Just straightforward pricing, premium quality, and trusted Pella certified installation. Visit PellaWI.com today.
ESPN Wisconsin celebrates Wilde and Tausch's 10-year anniversary, presented by Steinhoffels.
Our very first guest, Aaron Rodgers. Give us an over-under on what number would you set for how many shows we do together?
Daily, 52 weeks in a year. I'm going to say you do about 230.
Wilde and Tausch's 10th anniversary is also brought to you by Sendix, by Outdoor Living Unlimited, by Gruber Law Offices, by UW Credit Union, and by Events by Design.
Mark Tauscher here, and if you know me, you know I love Wisconsin. That's why I'm a UW Credit Union member. Their team's been all about Wisconsin since 1931, and they love making banking easy for members. Whether it's with their convenient mobile app or with the great perks like early payday to get you paid sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Aaron Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited with my brother and business partner, Eric Brown. Siding Unlimited is Madison's choice for siding, windows, roofing, and doors.
Siding Unlimited delivers on expectations because our experience, integrity, and craftsmanship come through on every project.
For new siding, windows, roofing, and doors, call 608-220-0005 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust here, joined now by David Malukas, the driver of the number 12 Penske Chevrolet, as we are getting ready for Road America. David, so happy to have you. What was the thing that when you went to Road America that you loved most?
The cheese curds, you know. The cheese curds are good. But no, honestly, it's just whatever the track brings, there's so much to it, right? You can be there for the races, or, you know, if you have younger kids and they get bored and they want to go play, there's so many different things going on. I mean, it's almost like a whole different festival of itself. I mean, you could go zip lining, you could see all these different things, and the track viewing perspective, the track is so massive, you can literally explore all these different areas and go to the camping grounds. So many different things going on. I remember pretty much every single year now that I've gone, I can go into the camping grounds, and there's always the crew of people just doing these different games, having a good time. So for me, it's one of the favorite blends of, okay, I'm here for a professional racetrack, but at the same time, I'm just having a good time with some good people here in the Midwest.
For all things Road America, you know where to go. It's roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com.
Paul Hansen here, founder of Iron Jock. Worried about the heat this summer? Don't sweat it. Our gear is made for real life. Iron Jock apparel combines moisture wicking with superior cooling and advanced odor-fighting silver ion technology that eliminates 99.9% of odor causing bacteria, so you are fresh for whatever's next. Our focus is simple. Make apparel that performs hard no matter where you are or what you are doing. Visit us at ironjock.com to experience the difference.
Wild Bill goes yard.
Is a fly ball, deep center field. Marcy's back, track, wall, baseball!
Your home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
Thanks again to Homer for joining us, Wilde and Tausch, Jesse and Tausch. Big announcement this morning, 620 WTMJ, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, the new home of Wisconsin Badgers football on the radio in Milwaukee, starting Sunday night, September 6th at Lambeau Field. Wisconsin and Notre Dame. Wisconsin men's basketball, women's basketball, men's and women's hockey, and already we've been the home of Badger volleyball, all with our family here at Good Karma on ESPN Wisconsin and 620 WTMJ. That includes the ESPN Wisconsin app and the 620 WTMJ mobile app. Easy for me to say. Big day, Tausch. I'm sure you'll be biased but fair in your analysis of the Badgers this season as the radio network analyst, along with Matt LePay. You're biased but fair also when you're assessing the work that the team at MoMA helped you with your knee recently.
Well, I don't need to be biased. I'm going to be fair when it comes to MoMA, and man, oh man, I feel so much better. And as I've told you guys numerous times, the end of the year was a real struggle for me. I was having a hard time getting around. My knee was super painful, had all kinds of issues, and I just got sick of saying, let's tough it out. I needed to do something different, and that's why I was excited to partner up with MoMA, the Midwest Orthopedic and Musculoskeletal Alliance. MoMA brings together trusted local providers like OIW, SMOC, and Innovative Pain, making it easier to find the right specialist and the right treatment for you. And I've been saying this now all month. You don't want to have these complicated things. I don't even know where to start. What do? I got to go get scanned. I got to do this. I got to go there. Then I got to go park. Then I got to find through 6 buildings and all this. No. Not with the team at MoMA. They have all kinds of different specialty care, surgery center, smart scan, MOSH. Where I've been going is ortho laser. I need to get some blood flow back into that knee, break up some of that arthritis, get my range of motion back where I could function the way I wanted to. And the team at MoMA and the Ortho Laser Center, they have helped me do it. Call or walk in today, or you can learn more about your journey. Start at MoMAMKE.com. That's MoMAMKE.com.
A check of Jason Wilde's countdown of the most important Packers of 2026 and a stat I think you need to know about one of the Packers' best defensive players. That'll kick off the 11 o'clock hour officially in 2 minutes. Stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott Garrett and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. Hey, it's Kelly Sheffield, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball head coach. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's premier roofing, siding, and window contractor since 2002. Visit them at ridgetopexteriors.com. Well, former NFL front office member and current ESPN insider Mike Tannenbaum joined Wilde Tausch on the Yuengling guest hotline this morning. He reaffirmed his faith in Packers quarterback Jordan Love, saying that there's not many other quarterbacks that he'd take in the league ahead of him right now.
Given his age, given his production, given his ability, given his character, I just don't know how many guys I'm taking before I'm taking Jordan Love. And that includes guys like Lamar Jackson, missed 4 games last year, Patrick Mahomes with the ACL, Joe Burrow, who's had durability issues. So Jordan Love gets a lot of the benefit of the doubt just given his ability and his age.
Listen back to that full appearance on the Yuengling guest hotline over on the ESPN Wisconsin app, and also go read about some big news for Wisconsin athletics and our friends over at 620 WTMJ and 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. They have become the new radio home in Milwaukee for Badgers athletics. Read more about it over at WTMJ.com. Second hour, Burley. Final.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or MetroKiaofMadison.com. 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Joining us now is the Green Bay Packers' new head coach, Matt LaFleur on Wilde Tausch.
Packers Hall of Famer Mike Tauscher.
Matt LaFleur, Matt Nagy, and Matt Patricia. Who is the most famous non-NFC North head coach not named Matt? No, I'm sorry.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio at ESPN Madison.
Who is the most famous non-NFC North head coach named Matt? Matt Damon, Matt Ryan, somebody else.
And celebrating 10 great years on ESPN Wisconsin.
Can you repeat that question?
Sorry.
This is Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Jesse and Tausch, Wilde and Tausch. Jason's summer sabbatical continues. He'll be back on Monday. That's when Tausch's summer sabbatical begins. Just so everybody's full on the same page there. Training camp kicks off on Wednesday in Green Bay. Less than a week to go until the Packers are back at practice to kick off the 2026
Jesse,
season.
do you want things to be? Would you rather be bountiful, like if you were a bird? Would you rather be one of the birds that are almost going extinct, or bountiful?
What?
Like the woolly mammoth.
I wouldn't want to be extinct. I'd be dead then if I was a bird.
No. I'm saying like you're on that. What's that called when you're on the extinct list? Like they
the endangered species. Endangered species.
Would you rather be an endangered species or overpopulated?
What on God's green earth?
Just answer the question.
I guess the endangered species, more people are aware of who they are because they're more known. Where it's like we got to protect the whatever.
They got to be nurtured, and there's
like specific wildlife preserves for that type of species to make sure that they're able to stay around. So I guess I'd like to be pampered if I was an endangered species bird. I wouldn't mind, like, if Jessies were an endangered species, and so therefore my home got lawn care and maintenance for free and all that. Like, I would, if I was a human version of an endangered species bird, I would rather live that life than be one of the many.
Are you in like a senior living community? What is this?
No.
What? Who's mowing your lawn because you're an endangered species?
I'm just trying to do a comparison, Wooly. I don't know. I don't understand. Like, I think the question is silly. I don't understand where it came from. I'd like to know the impetus of it. Like,
so here is the impetus, if you like that word, Jesse.
Yeah.
I saw the renderings for the new stadium in Kansas City. I've seen the renderings for the new stadium in Chicago or Indiana or wherever they're doing it. I've seen the renderings for the Browns' new stadium. I keep seeing all these renderings, and they are the same blanking thing. I put a roof on it. Let's do concerts. Let's do this. And Denver's doing it. Lambeau Field is going to be like the dodo bird. It is going to be like the woolly mammoth. It is going to be its last of its kind. So I know we had discussions earlier. Green Bay's not going anywhere. Lambeau Field ain't going anywhere. It is going to be one of one, probably within the next 25 years. You're not going to see a football stadium that lets in the elements and beats you down and lets you have the feels that Lambeau's going to have. Lambeau's always been special. It will always be special, the history and everything else. But it is even going more so the way of the dodo bird than any other deal, because nobody's building a new stadium unless they put retractable roof. Now, you'll have to correct me, maybe Buffalo. I don't think maybe they have a retractable roof. I don't know for sure.
I think they've got like a partial roof. So it's kind of like Miami, where it's like it covers the stands, but I don't believe it's a full roof.
Okay, so it's like the old Cowboy Stadium.
Yeah.
My point is, treasure it. Relish it. Because it is going away. The National Football League is turning into the old malls. They just want everything to be uniform, have it set up a certain way, and it checks every box. I think that is a really sad thing. I think it's a bummer. I understand it, but I don't like it, and it actually makes Lambeau more important even than it ever was, which is very important in the grand scale of stadiums and everything else.
Okay, I think you made a good point. I don't know if the dodo bird analogy is one that particularly where, like, the dodo and the woolly mammoth died. Like, they're gone. That's the whole thing about why you know them, because they're extinct.
They were on the extinct list. I don't know. Woolly mammoths are coming back. They're genetically engineering it.
You've been saying that for 5 years. I don't think the woolly mammoth's coming back if it isn't back yet. I think they probably would have had to have one back yet. But I understand your point. I think there's a couple of teams like Pittsburgh. I don't know if Pittsburgh would ever go to an indoor facility because of the history there. New York has Madison Square Garden. I don't know if they are interested in having a indoor venue that could hold an entire stadium worth of people.
Let me tell you something. When New York builds their next new stadium, which won't be, I said 20 or 25 years, they will have a roof on it.
But it's interesting because Green Bay, the size of it relative to Milwaukee and Madison and everywhere else, like, they don't need a roof stadium because they don't plan to hold a major, Final Four or other things that Milwaukee or Madison could hold because of the size of Green Bay. So they don't really have the need unless they want to do their concerts without any issues of rain or snow or whatever. That would be the only reason for year-round entertainment to put a roof on it. But they probably will never do that. Now, we spent the 9 o'clock hour portion of it talking about how they'll never be a privately owned franchise either, but Mike Florio speculated they could. So I guess never say never, but I don't ever want the frozen tundra to have a roof on it, even though there are some games where it'd be nice if it did, as a fan and for the fan experience. But you never want to have it. Like, that's the benefit of playing in Green Bay. That's the home field advantage the Packers should have going into a postseason. And I would hope that other teams around the league would recognize that too, that you build a strong running game and an offensive line so that you have a competitive advantage when the weather turns in January when you get to the playoffs. That's why Baltimore's kind of struggled.
Jesse, I can't believe it. I should know better. But it makes me sad that the Bears are going to move indoors. The Vikings, they should be an outdoor. I think the league should be very cautious about all these new stadiums all looking and feeling the same. Like, I just don't think that's healthy for the league. I don't think it's good for its partners. I don't think it's good for a lot of reasons. And it doesn't matter what I think. They're going to do what they're going to do, and they're moving forward this way because of the revenue. But I don't think that's good long-term for the health of this league. I just don't.
So you did say you don't want all of them looking the same, Tausch. Then you did bring up the idea of the type of roof that the Bills are doing. It's actually a roof that only covers 60% of the stadium, so it covers just the fans from the elements, but the field itself is still like open air and actually would have rain, wind, or snow impacting it. In fact, apparently they have a high-tech hydronic snow melt system in the roof that heats the concourses, and it has a concave shape so that it acts as an acoustic reflector to trap crowd noise. That's according to Google AI.
Smart.
It's a lot of big words.
Seattle.
Very.
A lot of big words going on there. Yeah.
And by the way, I'm not being hypocritical in the fact that I love the fact that AmFam Field has a roof.
Yeah, baseball's different.
Because baseball can't be played in the elements.
Right.
Football can and should be played in the elements. It'll be it's not. I'm not going to broach that subject because it's not going to happen. But I just think that for the Cleveland Browns and for some of these other teams in the Rust Belt and the Midwest, to do it this way just makes me sad. It just makes me sad.
Kansas City's the latest one that'll be part of that, according to the renderings that have come out this week. With the Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions presented by Events by Design, we move on to the Hard at Work region, our final region of the opening round, and two stalwarts going toe-to-toe today, Chef Ed and Mike the Wedding DJ. Somebody is moving on to the quarterfinal round. That's coming up next. First, Tausch, we know the renderings for your outdoor living space at home are going to be one of a kind, thanks to the great team at Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Indeed, and we met with Aaron and Eric Brown, brothers and owners of Outdoor Living Unlimited, and, man, they are the right guys to work with for us. We share the same hardworking values. Love the fact that Outdoor Living Unlimited is a family-owned and locally operated company, and their showroom is a must. It's part of the reason we're a little bit slower is because we kept looking at stuff and it was like, oh boy, would that look good? Oh, they have a putting green. Oh, they have an outdoor kitchen, screen room. They have everything that you're looking for. Head on down to their showroom on Stoughton Road. Start with OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com and end with an amazing outdoor space. Check them out at OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
The Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions presented by Events by Design. Chef Ed and Mike the Wedding DJ. Coming up next on Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. Well, I've been telling you for a while now how much I love Pizza Hut, going back to the days when I was a kid participating in their legendary Book It program. Well, how's this for a throwback? Introducing Pizza Hut's Throwback Value Menu. Features their iconic personal pan pizza for just $3. And a medium one-topping original stuffed crust pizza, just $10. Take a look for yourself to find more deals on 2-liter soda, breadsticks, and much, much more. You asked for it, so they delivered. It's the Throwback Value Menu from Pizza Hut. Order online at pizzahut.com or download the Pizza Hut app to find more about this and a bunch of other great deals. The Throwback Value Menu, only at Pizza Hut. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
A strong team makes all the difference, and Everlight Solar just expanded theirs. Everlight Solar now offers roofing and exterior services for homeowners dealing with storm damage. From the first call to the final repair, Everlight quickly handles everything under one roof. When your roof takes a hit, you've got a team behind you. Start today at EverlightRoofing.com. That's EverlightRoofing.com. Everlight, powering through any storm. A proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics.
Hey, it's John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Hi, it's Eric with Canopy Wealth Management. Taxes are intricate, and even smart savers can unknowingly work against themselves without a clear tax strategy. At Canopy, we help you assess your options and you make more intentional decisions with your money. Small adjustments today can lead to meaningful differences in your long-term financial future. At Canopy Wealth Management, care, competence, clarity is not just a tagline, it's our promise. Get started today at canopy-wealth.com.
Paid for by Canopy Wealth Management. Canopy Wealth Management is registered as an investment advisor with the SEC.
Hey, it's Owen Dimple. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on social media for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports in local communities.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app.
This loss is as painful to Packer fans as you can ever imagine.
A customizable homepage, easier and quicker live listening. Your shows at the touch of a fingertip. Available in Apple and Android app stores.
I have no evidence behind that whatsoever. It's just a feeling I have, and that might just be because I'm scared of this rivalry in the playoffs.
Your one-stop shop for ESPN Wisconsin. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. Download it today.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
The Miz is bringing the heat.
Struck him out swinging. 104 on that fastball from Miz. Back-to-back Ks opens up his outing.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Brewers. Wilde Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Wilde Tausch's 10th anniversary, presented by Steinhoffel's been fun celebrating in a bunch of different ways all summer long. And even when Jason's not here or when Tausch isn't here, the celebration does continue. And that includes today with the Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions, presented by Events by Design.
Wilde Tausch's 10th anniversary, presented by Steinhoffel's. Nostalgia?
It's the best sports show in the state. It has been since 2016. It will continue to be. It's not even remotely close.
Appreciation.
I'm happy that with our partners and with our fans, we're able to kind of celebrate this.
Fun.
It's clear that you guys have done an unbelievable job of appealing to fans, partners, not as much teammates.
And competition.
The greatest of all time.
16 champions enter, but only one will achieve true greatness. This is the Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions, brought to you by Events by Design. For over 25 years, Events by Design has helped organizations create seamless, unforgettable events that leave a lasting impression. Search online Events by Design. We design, you party.
6 have been eliminated. 2 opening round matchups yet to go in the hard at work region of the Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions, presented by Events by Design. This week's matchup features 2 of the longest tenured and potentially most acclaimed Wilde Tausch Trivia contestants. First up, Jason's arch nemesis, a guy that I took to lunch just a couple of summers ago. He's a Dolphins fan. He had a terrible fantasy team in our fantasy league last year. Dennis Semrau's pal, Mike the Wedding DJ. Mike, good morning and welcome to the Tournament of Champions.
Morning, Jesse. Good morning, Tausch. Thank you for including me.
It is our pleasure, Mike. Thanks for being a great part of our show for all these years, and especially recently when you've really gotten on Jason's nerves. That's been my favorite part. And
we have like that.
we also welcome in a guy who has probably participated in Wilde Tausch trivia more than anyone else in show history, especially going back to the 2019, 20, 21, around the COVID times. He played almost every week. It's Chef Ed in the Tournament of Champions. Chef Ed, good morning. Welcome to the Trivia Tournament of Champions. How are you today?
Great. Good morning, Willie. Good morning, Jesse. And it's touch, isn't it?
It's touchy. Very touchy with the name.
It's a Sarah Spain reference there. We love that, Chef Ed. Nicely done. All right, I have the draft coin in my possession here in the Everlight Solar Studio at ESPN Madison. This coin will determine who gets to pick if they want to go first and which set of questions they want to answer. Draft is heads. That will be Mike the Wedding DJ. Give back is tails. That is Chef Ed. It is heads. Mike the Wedding DJ, you get your choice. Do you want to go first or second? And would you like to answer Tausch's questions or mine?
I want to go second, and I would like you, Jesse, to be my good luck charm and ask me the question.
Oh, wow.
That is shocking. All right, Mike the Wedding DJ has chosen me, and he's going to go second. That means, Tausch, you have the questions for Chef Ed, and you lead us off.
All right, Chef Ed, sports current events entering play today. Which team has the best record in Major League Baseball? Is it the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Tampa Bay Rays, or the Houston Astros? That's good.
Yeah, it keeps flip-flopping, but right now it is the Dodgers. They overtook us by a game, so it's the Dodgers.
That's correct.
Unless you look at the loss column, but we won't go there. Chef Ed's on the board. He is 1 for 1 as we begin the Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions here today. Mike the Wedding DJ, your first question. And nice job picking me because the category is song lyrics. Complete these lyrics to the holiday classic. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane. Is it snow is glistening, people listening, or snakes are whistling?
Snow is glistening.
Easy one for a DJ. Luck of the draw. Mike the Wedding DJ also on the board. That is 1 apiece for both Mike the Wedding DJ and for Chef Ed. Tausch, back to you for Chef Ed's second question.
All right, Chef Ed, which of these players is the all-time leader in interception returns for touchdowns in Green Bay Packers history? Is it Leroy Butler, Charles Woodson, or Nick Collins?
I believe it's Nick Collins.
That's a tough question. That's a Tournament of Champions question. It's a tough one because obviously we remember Nick Collins returning the touchdown in the Super Bowl. Leroy Butler had some, but Charles Woodson is the leader in Packers history, which doesn't surprise me.
Leroy Butler actually only had 1 interception return for a touchdown in his Hall of Fame career. He had 2 fumble returns for a touchdown, but only 1 interception return. Charles Woodson with 9. The franchise leader. All right, so Mike the Wedding DJ, chance to pounce now as Chef Ed misses question number 2. Chance to take the lead for you, Mike. In the category Badgers Trivia. Fitting for today. Which of these individuals has never served as a color analyst alongside Matt LePay for a men's basketball game on the Wisconsin Badgers radio network? Which of these has never served as a color analyst with Matt LePay? Brian Butch, Charlie Wills, or Zach Showalter?
I've heard the first 2 do it, so it's got to be Zach Showalter.
That is correct. Zach Showalter has never done it with Matt LePay, unlike Tausch, who has been the color analyst on the football radio network. So that means Mike the Wedding DJ has a 2-1 lead. Chef Ed needs to get this question right. Otherwise, Mike the Wedding DJ is moving on to the quarterfinals.
All right, Chef Ed, U.S. presidents is our last category. Which former U.S. president's nickname was Old Kinderhook and featured a campaign slogan which served as the origin for the word okay, now used commonly in the English language? Oh, good question. Is it Zachary Taylor, Martin Van Buren, or Millard Fillmore?
Boy, these questions you give me. Oh, you said Old Kinderhook?
Old Kinderhook. Yep.
And what were the three presidents again?
Zachary Taylor, Martin Van Buren, or Millard Fillmore?
I'll go with Van Buren. Shot in the dark.
The shot in the dark keeps you alive for at least one more question.
For the amount of bad luck that Chef Ed has had in the history of Wilde and Tausch trivia, for him to take a shot in the dark on Martin Van Buren to stay alive in the Tournament of Champions. Wow. Chef Ed is still in it. Ties in it too. And that means, Mike the Wedding DJ, if you get this question right, you will walk it off and advance to the quarterfinals. If you get it wrong, we go to extra time. Very controversial rules at extra time, so you don't want to go there. You ready, Mike?
Yep, and I'm sure it's Wisconsin geography, isn't it?
In the category Wisconsin geography.
My least favorite category.
Latitudinally. Which of these Wisconsin cities is located farthest north? Is it Newburgh, Newville, or New Berlin?
Oh, my God. Newburgh?
Newville, New Berlin. Farthest north.
Well, I know where New Berlin is, and I know... Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Oh, God. This is a guess. I'm going Newburgh.
Newburgh is correct, and Michael is on to the quarterfinals. Another shot in the dark pays off. Wow.
Wow. Where is it?
So
where is it?
Newburgh is near West Bend on the way to Saukville on Highway 33. We passed through there for the ESPN Milwaukee Open. Newville, just outside of Milton here in the Madison area, pretty far south. New Berlin in the Milwaukee area near Muskego, Greendale, that typical area. So Newburgh, the correct answer. Mike the Wedding DJ advances. First, we bid farewell to Chef Ed. Chef Ed, that was a heck of a run, a great performance. The shot in the dark kept you alive, but you just miss out on advancing to the quarterfinal round. Chef Ed, thanks for being such a great fan of Wilde and Tausch for all these years and for all the times you've played trivia. We appreciate you, our friend, and thanks for participating.
Thanks. Love you guys.
Chef Ed, tough loss.
That's a tough loss.
Sports is hard.
The agony of defeat. But on the other side of it, Mike the Wedding DJ lives to play another round when Jason will most likely return and be on the show for his quarterfinal showdown. Mike, congratulations. You are in the final 8 of the Wilde and Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions. How does it feel?
I still can't believe that I advanced on a question I had no clue on. Well, I know where the other two were, but I've never heard of Newburgh, so I figured it has to be north of those two because I know where Newville is. There's a Culver's right there. I was just there 2 weeks ago doing a wedding in Milton. I knew where New Berlin was. Never heard of Newburgh. Living in southern Wisconsin all my life, I figured, okay, it's got to be north of the other two. So that was my reasoning. Thank God it worked.
It paid off. Congratulations, Mike the Wedding DJ. Moving on to the round of 8 in the Wilde and Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions presented by Events by Design. Imagine hosting an event where you don't have to check your phone or put out a single fire. If you're in charge of that event, that's the last thing that you want to do. You want to enjoy it. The curated music, the immersive lighting, the welcoming atmosphere. You look around, man, it's so great. Everything coming together seamlessly. Guests are smiling. The conversations are flowing. There's nothing to worry about. You don't have to worry about anything happening behind the scenes. Events by Design handles the planning, the production, and every detail that will make your next event unforgettable, so you can focus on your guests instead of the to-do list. Man, doesn't that sound perfect for the next event you're planning? Get started today. Just search online, Events by Design. They design, you party. Events by Design, presenting our Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions, part of the 10th anniversary, presented by Steinhoffels all summer long. For the final time this week, Ryan Wollersheim leads us in a round of Whoa Wooly, and we'll do that next on Wilde Tausch.
Will Tucker Kraft be the NFL's highest paid tight end?
I think we all know that Tucker Kraft, when healthy, is one of the best tight ends in the league.
Your home for green and gold coverage, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube. The sound of summer is on ESPN Madison.
Swing and a miss! He struck him out!
Madison's home of the Brewers.
Track! Wall! Bye! Baseball!
Catch every Milwaukee Brewers game this season on 100.5 ESPN.
Hit well, back, it is gone!
Brewers baseball on ESPN Madison is presented by Hard Rock Casino Rockford and brought to you by Canopy Wealth Management and the Metro family of auto dealers.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella-certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Life moves fast. Your car should move with it. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, they've got a vehicle and payment options that fit every stage of your journey. Just graduated? Start smart in a Chevy Trax. Stylish, efficient, and budget-friendly. Growing your family? The Equinox gives you the space and versatility you need. And when life gets even bigger, the Traverse or Tahoe is ready for it all. Kids, carpools, and road trips. Visit them today in Sun Prairie or online at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Zimbrick Chevrolet, the name you can trust.
Mike, what's one of the most important questions people should be asking about metal roofing?
It should be who's doing the installation. It takes focus, precision, and technical experience. We'll answer all your questions.
After all, we are masters of metal roofing.
I'm Mike.
And Mary Sweta. Enjoy the long-lasting architectural strength and beauty of a Sweta metal roof.
SWITA metalroofing.com.
Sweta Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 4th.
Curio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they play the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third down.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Local Union 2150 IBEW. Tune in August 4th at 6:40 on WISC TV in Madison, or check your local listings to watch the game.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Attention high school and college students, get your student special tickets to Monday through Friday games for only $12 courtesy of UW Credit Union. Upgrades are available for select games. To purchase tickets, visit www.brewers.com/students. Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Looking to buy your next home or ready to sell and move on to bigger and better things? What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Ready for some fun in the sun this season? Let's get housed. Nobody knows what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get started. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
The Brewers are the hottest team in baseball.
Garrett Mitchell has surpassed J.J. Hardy in the all-time attractive Brewers power rankings. He is number one now.
When does training camp start?
This is Madison's home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
Congratulations again to Mike the Wedding DJ advancing in our Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions presented by Events by Design. One more to go next week. Mailman Matt and Tex in a Work Van. Those are the two that'll be going at it next week in the final opening round matchup of the Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions. Speaking of the final round, it's the final round this week that Ryan Wollersheim is producing the show, which means he gets to lead us in Whoa Wooly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
All right, guys, we're a little short on time here today for Wool Wooly, so I'll keep it brief.
No, we're not. This is more time than we usually have for
That's
this
very
segment.
true. Yeah, considering Tuesday we didn't have Wool Wooly because there was 0 time for it. There's a lot more time now, which is good because we actually have something from Unsportsmanlike this morning. So yesterday I turned it over to the normal producer, Jesse Nelson, to give his take about the Brewers and Garrett Mitchell being the hottest Brewer since J.J. Hardy. Very hot take. Very hot
take. Of all time.
Of all time. On the all-time ranking. But this morning on ESPN Radio's Unsportsmanlike, which you can hear 5 to 9 right here on ESPN Madison, 5 to 7 on ESPN Milwaukee, they were talking about one Mark Tauscher, actually. His name came up.
What?
One of his 10... there was a caller, Dale in Wisconsin, who called in, who... there's a specific tendency of old teas that he's picked up on that he's not a huge fan of. Tausch, why don't you go ahead and take a listen to Dale this morning?
Dale in Wisconsin, listening on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. The athlete with the brightest future, Dale.
Hey, good morning, guys. Love the show. First off, Smalls, 100% agree. Pet peeve, people that interrupt for all the reasons you said. Second one, people that speak for a living, mispronouncing, etc. Evan, work with Tauscher on both, please.
Dang!
Wow. Whoa, Nelly!
Tausch?
Dang.
Called out on the national show.
Catching some strays from Dale. Do I say etc. the wrong way?
I feel like you just put a lot of emphasis on it every time you say it, etc., etc.
Can you say it without thinking about it? Like if I said, Tausch, can you start listing colors of the rainbow, please?
Roy G. Biv.
No.
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet.
But then say no.
Etc. etc.
There you go. Yeah. Okay.
Etc.
Etc.
Yeah.
It is pronounced etc. 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 There's no ek. Like Jason Eck.
It's kind of like always trying to pub up my guy, Coach Eck. Yeah, it's fair. Dale, I'm not going to argue with Dale's points there. I do interrupt. It's not meant to be in a rude way. It is a stream of consciousness. It's unfortunately just kind of where I'm at. And that doesn't mean I'm trying to be disrespectful. It's just how my brain functions. So I can't argue with any of Dale's points there. I think it's fair. And I don't mind that he called me out on it. I need to be held accountable too.
What do we think of Dale's technique instead of calling this show or Jen, Gabe, and Chewy or Molly and Jim? Like he called the national morning show heard in Birmingham and Los Angeles and everywhere to call you out on this.
Totally on board with it. I don't have one problem with anything Dale just said. None.
You don't find it especially annoying that he behaved that way?
That I don't do. I know Bulaga does that a lot, and that's fine.
Oh, no, call out Bulaga!
Pass the buck.
Brian says especially all the time. I don't correct him because it's the way he talks. I don't mind. It is what it is. I have no problem if you phonetically say things the way they're spelled. I'm on board with it. Now, especially isn't how it's phonetically spelled, but I'm not going to say that.
When I was a kid,
Vice versa, all that. I'm good with all of it.
When I was a kid, I always used to say the Pacific Ocean instead of Pacific. I feel like everyone has one of these in their life.
That's a common one. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Jesse?
Well, I told you when I went to the Garth Brooks concert, I thought that the song that he sang is "I'm not big on sausage races," and people thought I was crazy.
That's tough.
But then
though.
more people said, "I actually get it."
Yeah, music's different. Music, you can hear things like I want to kiss this guy, the Jimi Hendrix line, right? Like I want to kiss the sky. Like everyone's heard that one before. Like
well,
music's different rules.
We've been down that road with Old T at Summerfest, right? I used to think all intents and purposes was like intense, like intensity. All intents and purposes. It was until college when I figured out what that. Like I read it and I was like, oh, that's what that is. I'd never seen it like written out, so that's not that big of a deal.
I'm glad Dale said this about etc. because I do say ek. It needs to just be etc.
etc. He didn't even. He could have brought up peninsula, and we could have gone down a whole other can of worms of things Tausch says differently than everyone else.
Yeah, that's just an old joke. That's because the old president used to always say that, and I always thought it was hilarious. So that's why I say that. I know it's peninsula.
Strong finish for Wooly, for Wooly this week here on Wilde and Tausch. Fill it in the last couple of days.
Speaking of also misheard things, up until I think last year, I always used to think it was doggy dog world. Dog, like it's a doggy dog, not dog eat dog. I thought it was doggy dog, which just never made sense to me for 25 years. Like, what does that mean?
It's a doggy dog world?
Yes.
You thought that was the saying?
Well, yeah, if you say it quick enough, like it sounds like doggy dog world. Like it sounds exactly the same. Like you could not tell the two apart. But yeah, it never made sense, which is why I was just like, all right, whatever. It's just a dumb idiom. Who cares about it? But dog eat dog makes a ton of sense.
That's crazy. The doggy dog world,
etc., etc.,
etc., etc. Indeed. Tausch, you want to tell us without any etceteras or etceteras about Annex Wealth Management?
I do, and life events come up. Doesn't matter for anybody. There's always stuff that pops up. Sale of a company, death, divorce, health crisis, college, weddings, funerals. Annex Wealth Management has assisted clients with all of these big life events. And the big thing is you got to plan. You got to have a plan. And knowing what you own, why you own it, how much you're paying for it, that is a big part of smart financial planning. Annex has an entire in-house team that works together so that you can make those informed decisions when these big life events come up. And it is simple. Go to annexwealth.com and you hit a little button, click, get started. Again, that is at annexwealth.com so you can plan for those big life events when they come up.
We'll wrap up the show recapping our big announcement today and previewing our special show tomorrow. That's straight ahead on Wilde and Tausch.
The Brewers are the hottest team in baseball.
Garrett Mitchell has surpassed J.J. Hardy in the all-time attractive Brewers power rankings. He is number one now.
When does training camp start?
This is Madison's home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by the ESPN Wisconsin app. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. Available in the Apple and Android app stores. Download the ESPN Wisconsin app today. Former Badgers linebacker Chris Orr joined the jump around and has a fascinating connection with current UW star Mason Posa.
I recruited Mason Posa when I was at Baylor. He was choosing between Baylor and Wisconsin. And I'm like, look, bro, I got nothing bad to say about Wisconsin. I'm like, I can't tell you. I'm like, I don't know those guys like that. I'm like, I don't know the staff like that. I'm like, but the place, like, I love the place. Yeah, it's crazy how football connects the world in that regard. But I was happy to see what he did.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't play games. Just straightforward pricing, premium quality, and trusted Pella certified installation. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Mark Tauscher here, and there is nothing better on a hot summer day than cracking open an ice-cold Coors Light. Coors Light brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged, so it's actually made to chill. The mountains on Coors Light's cold-activated bottles and cans turn blue, so you know it is chilled to perfection, and there's nothing quite like the feeling of opening up the cooler and snagging an ice-cold Coors Light with those beautiful blue mountains painted perfectly on the side of the can. Refreshingly cold and only 102 calories, Coors Light is made to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Mark Tauscher here for Buckin' Honeys. Summer in Wisconsin is too good to spend indoors. And whether you're meeting the crew after work, grabbing dinner before the game, or just looking for a great patio spot, Buckin' Honeys has you covered. Their spacious patios are the perfect place to enjoy award-winning dishes, craft cocktails, and an easygoing atmosphere. Visit their locations in Sun Prairie, Monona, Waunakee, or Mount Horeb. Grab your people, find a spot on the patio, and make the most of summer at Buckin' Honeys. We'll see you there.
Dealing with storm damage? That's never fun. That's why homeowners are turning to Everlight Solar for roofing and exterior repairs done right. They handle the entire process, from insurance claims to fixing your roof with one trusted team. Less stress, faster solutions, and a home that stays protected from the elements. If your roof took a hit, Everlight's got you covered. Visit everlightroofing.com to get started today. That's everlightroofing.com. Everlight, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
The Miz is filling out the punch card.
Struck him out swinging. Brings home the pitch. A swing and a miss. He struck him out. Strike 3 called with a slider. The 4th consecutive Miz punch out.
Stacking up K's left and right.
10 double-digit strikeout games this season now for Miz.
Tune into every start from the NL Cy Young leader.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Go back and watch that inning over and over again.
Right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Brewers.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
This is Wilde Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Clip of the day is a little different today. It is not Jim Rutledge's worst take of the decade. It is the fact that we had a major announcement this morning. Mark Tauscher joining Wisconsin's Morning News on 620 WTMJ to share the excitement that 620 WTMJ and 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, Milwaukee's new home of Wisconsin Badgers football, men's and women's basketball, men's and women's hockey, and volleyball for the coming 2026 season. Different stations, different platforms for each of those, but all on the ESPN Wisconsin app, on the 620 WTMJ mobile app, and the biggest one, football simulcast on both 620 WTMJ and 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Taos, just to recap for those who may have missed it earlier in the show, a huge day for us at Good Karma, a huge day for the Wisconsin Badgers, and a huge day for you and Matt LePay sharing that radio booth, being heard on a large, awesome, major station in 620 WTMJ again here in 2026.
Yeah, I think we're all really excited about it. Obviously, I'm very excited. The fact that the season's going to be starting here shortly and that we're going to be back on in Milwaukee on WTMJ is, for me, a big deal. It's Wisconsin's radio station, and for the football games to be able to be heard and to be, our presence to be on that station is a big deal. A lot of great history going all the way back, Jimmer, when all the stuff that I learned about to now be a part of it is really, really cool. And I'm glad that Wisconsin Athletics and Good Karma Brands, we figured all this out, and we're able to get this thing rolling here in a little over a month.
We'll celebrate with Matt LePay and is our cousin sub of the day for the whole show tomorrow morning. Come back with us tomorrow, 9 to noon. Matt LePay, cousin sub of the day, along with Old T, the radio booth takeover of Wilde and Tausch. Thanks so much for joining us today. Thanks to Ryan Wollersheim producing the shows the majority of this week. We do appreciate you, Wooly. And as Jason always says, have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
What life events have you experienced over the past couple of years? Well, maybe one is coming up. The sale of a company, death, divorce, a health crisis, or helping to pay for college or a wedding. Well, Annex Wealth Management has assisted clients with life events, but planning for them can make all the difference. Knowing what you own, why you own it, and how much you're paying for it is a big part of smart financial planning. Annex has an entire in-house team that works together